Welcome to the Clash coverage of the 2020 Piltover Cup, Day 2. I wasn't here for Day 1. I have a good excuse. I was playing Terraria. Actually, that video is also up on the channel. It's just one day yesterday, or 2 days yesterday, depending on how fast this gets uploaded. The current date, as I'm casting, is May 31st, last day of May. Terraria, we were busy fighting the Moonlord. And it's actually a game I've never actually beaten, and Terraria 1.4 seemed like a good time to actually start beating the game. And we did do that yesterday after I want to say a 7-8 hour long gaming session. So while I was doing that, I did miss out on day 1. But our good friends, the heroes of this journey, Team EZW, came away from day 1 with a third place finish, as I was told. I didn't watch a single one of those games. Not first, but still a very admirable finish. So today they're gonna probably look to do better than that. 4 days of Piltover Cup, this is the second one. They have 3 more chances, including this, to snag that ever coveted first place, which I think they've never gotten more than once. But that is okay. We will be following their journey all the way to the end. So we're gonna go over the matchups here. It's gonna be, seems like Vladimir top against Set top, Y jungling against is that the Rumble jungle? The Professor plugin says jungle. No, it's not. Okay, that's just the plugin being confused. I think it's very clearly Rumble top with Set jungle. Switch that around. I shouldn't be reading off the overlay. I should just read the team comps to try to figure it out. It does seem like it's going to be Vlad top, Y jungle, Silas mid, Caitlyn, Nautilus. They're going to be going up against Set in the jungle, Rumble, Orianna top, and Sever Leona bottom. So that seems like the correct laning matchups, looking at the preview here. Game 1 is about to start. Wish all competitors the best of luck in today's clash. And the end of May, another month goes past, just like that. Hopefully we can end off May on a high note. Once again, biased caster rooting for, obviously, the boys. Hope they do well today. 2 seconds out from 2 seconds out. We're gonna get into game 1, starting right now. So I'm pretty sure in Clash they don't actually organize the teams. Like the spawns could still be just random. Yeah, it is still random placement. So like you can see Y on the very left where it should be like top jungle, mid, etc, etc. Summoner Spellbook Orianna as well. Well, we'll have enough time for discussing that as the game unfolds. Game 1 is beginning soon. I actually haven't casted the league game in a while. Last time I casted one was, I think, easily over a week ago.
Welcome to the Piltover Clash.
Piltover Clash. Yeah, last time I casted the league game was probably over a week ago. I've been quite busy with a ton of other projects. Like, I've been doing way too many side projects with all of my free time, and I don't have that much free time. So I ended up dropping quite a bit of them just because you only have so many hours during the day. Like, I had a streaming schedule. I dropped that just because I can't. It's just way too many things going on. I still have personal hobbies to catch up on a lot of things. Oh, but hold that thought. Enough about myself. Here comes an invade. Fireman early on. Silas going to start it. Yes, he does. Abduct goes in, but the Orianna flash gets her out of the way for the wall breaker. There's no damage follow up. There's gonna be a ward dropped over the blue. They can't kill it in time. The ward will stay alive. So this invade actually takes away Orianna's flash. And speaking of taking things, let's reorganize this.
Minions have spawned.
Alright, we're gonna get into it now. So Orianna had to back, but she doesn't lose anything major here. Losing flash might not be a big deal if the lane doesn't play out as aggressively as the Silas wants it to. She does have to be careful. Orianna is a very frail champion at essentially all stages of the game. Not having flash in the early laning stage makes her a pretty easy ganking target as well. Sylas has pretty good lockdown for a jungler. Vault Breaker into Sylas might just secure kills, especially because both Sylas and Weiss still have their summoners. But it seems like so far, nothing really bad has happened for either team. The bottom lane matchup. Oh, it's gonna be a Caitlyn with Grasp. I didn't even see that. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say this is not a misclick. If it's not a misclick, this is in fact a heal-less team on blue team. Caitlyn doesn't have heal. She took Exhaust plus Grasp. I haven't played Caitlyn in a hot minute, but this is what you want though. The Sivir's gonna get exhausted. Beautiful dodge on the Peacemaker, and that's gonna be first blood. No heal from the Caitlyn actually, and that's gonna be another one. Excellent start there for red team, getting that 2-4-0 on the bottom lane. And you can see not having heal in that matchup actually costed the Caitlyn. I'm not convinced that Exhaust makes up for the heal in that trade there, just because Sivir didn't actually get hit by too many things and didn't do that much damage when the exhaust was thrown out. And as it stands, the only person with a summoner remaining is gonna be the Nautilus, and here comes a set. He's gonna flash over one punch to the face, showing who the better puncher is, taking her down in the jungle in waves 3-0. They're really mad about losing that early flash and they're taking it to blue team. So now jungler being set so far behind, the set that just killed her in her own jungle, taking away her buffs as well. She's still level 2. She's still level 2 and she has no buffs. She has to rely on Raptor Camp now to get her EXP. And that's going to give Set a lot of control in the top side. Set getting, Sylas getting shoved under his tower as well. Can't really do much here. Set's gonna run bottom side. Oh, here comes a trade. Very aggressive trade from the Sylas. It actually pays off. Kingslayer was used as well there. Orianna tries to trade a little bit back. Overall, pretty even, but in exchanges like this, it always favors the set because Kingslayer exists as a skill. Anytime he's low or the enemy laner is low, Kingslayer just does so much extra output. Rather, it's just not just the damage, but the healing as well. Which is why a lot of Sylas players actually takes cut down over coup de grace. Because when you fall low, that's when you're the most powerful thanks to his W. I can't think of many other champions that actually takes cut down. I know some Irelia players take it, but it's still overwhelmingly coup de grace in that champion. There's probably a few others that would take cut down. Maybe Olaf. Orianna has to be careful here. The Abduct does come in. Here's the Kingslayer and the rest of the trade. The entire Sylas burst just gets unloaded onto Orianna, but now he has to really try to run. Flash is up, but Seth cannot make the chase happen. He's not fast enough. He's just going to back off here for now. Facebreaker is not gonna land. Sylas returns some damage, and the set takes a tower shot as well. That's going to drive him away. So I think the mid lane's not happening here for red team. They have to go look to make action happen elsewhere. The time is closing into 6 minutes. So pretty soon, the first set of buffs for the junglers will be respawning. So both Vi and Set will probably pass towards the bottom side, and that's likely where a gank might happen. Speaking of ganks here, we do see bottom lane. Sivir is 1-0-1. She's almost got a Warhammer, and Caitlyn, because she died so early, she went back and was she came back to lane with nothing. She's still sitting on 46 CS. That is enough for BF Sword now. Let's check her money. As the fight breaks out, she does have enough for BF Sword, but is it enough to run away. It is not. She just succumbs to fate and dies to the ground. And the Nautilus has to try to run away. Spider Knot maybe? No, not enough. The Haymaker gets at 5 for nothing. Set completes a beautiful gank, and now he's going to run back into what appears to be either the Scouter or the Drake. Are they actually going to take the Drake here? They are. Set is going to try to Set and Leona are going to try to start the Cloud Drake while the Sivir pushes out the bottom lane. Sivir is actually going to get a solo plate here, looking beautiful right now for red team's bottom lane. Slightly behind in CS, the Sivir, because the Caitlyn's gonna farm some under the tower, right? Wait, why is her CS number not going up? Oh no, she didn't get. She only got 1 under the tower. Never mind, there's no CS deficit for now. Sivir's going to get that BF sword, an amazing power spike, and that just matches with the Caitlyn's BF sword as well. Sylas going to try to fight it out. Not gonna happen. Nautilus gonna clear away a pink, but the pink's purpose has already been served. Dragon is dead. 20 seconds from now, Herald will spawn. So ideally, junglers should try to look topside now because Herald is such an amazing objective to take. Rumble does overheat a little bit. He's tanking some tower shots. Now he has to back off. Top lane hasn't had too much action. In fact, it's had none. But the X factor in this game is the Vladimir. Having a Vladimir in your team is always giving the enemy a ticking time bomb. There's gonna be a point where this Vladimir just becomes unstoppable. Very few champions have the tools to shut down a 6-item Vladimir. And as far as this team is concerned, red team I mean, I don't think they can kill a Vlad if he gets super fed. I mean, they have the lockdown, but the burst is just not there. Even their lockdown is kind of iffy. So as long as the Vlad doesn't get too bothered, blue team is never out of this game. Despite what might be happening bottom lane. And speaking of bottom lane, here comes another gank here. The Caitlyn has to try to run. She's under the safety of her own tower, but the Nautilus is taking a beating. Oh, she walks up too far and catches a boomerang to the face. That's going to chip her out for a lot more damage. Remember, she doesn't have heal. Grasp is not a reliable form of sustain. You have to be in combat just to proc it. You have to be in combat for like 3 seconds before it's ready. Oh, the Equalizer is going to cut off the Y from the trade. She's going to try to kill the Blast Cone, but the Set denies her and drags her over the wall into the Herald pit, and the Herald just gets to watch as the Y gets slammed into the river and killed off. 6-0. Amazing start here for red team. Nautilus the hook, it's gonna whiff, and it's gonna bring him so far away. The depth charge, it gets eaten by the spell shield. He's got nothing left, and the teleport might be coming in. Actually, that's not even depth charge. I just saw him swing his anchor, and the Sivir kills off the Caitlyn, but it's gonna be a 1-for-1. No, 1-for-2 trade. The Vladimir and the Rumble both teleport bottom lane, but the Rumble, he's alone. He has nowhere to go. The Vladimir's pulling on top of him. The Empowerment Transfuse, he's running low on health. The shield is being slowed down. He's still trying to run. Transfuse is up, but can he find it? He cannot. The blast shield speed gets him over the wall. Sylas, the abscond fails, but the abduct onto the Orianna, who wanders a little bit too close to the site, and the Sylas, the Kingslayer is out, but he's running out of health. Set kills off the Rift Herald in the meantime. That's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade overall, which is amazingly favorable for the blue team. They got the shutdowns. Both top laners TP bottom, and neither top laner died, but Vladimir walks away with one of the kills. And I do apologize for that missed call back there. Oh, the Vladimir's absence means that this Herald gets deployed top. That's gonna be 2 free plates. Yep. It's gonna be ripped down to 2 plates. Set kills 1, Herald kills 2. But yes, I do apologize for missed call. I saw Nautilus swing up his anchor and Sivir block something sort of spell shield, so I just thought it was depth charge. And then I looked at him, it's like, oh wait, he's level 5. He doesn't have depth charge. Do forgive me for oh, the shockwave. Do forgive me for missing that call. Seems like that was like a Nautilus auto attack. Sivir definitely spell shielded something. It was a little bit too chaotic to tell what. 7-2. 19,000 gold to 16. Oh, the Vladimir up top. He's finally gonna get paid a visit by the scary punching man. This showstopper, the haymaker. No, showstopper, that is what it's called. It does send him back. Haymaker, it does find it. He doesn't have to pull. He gets killed off here. 3-0 and 2. The piece top lane has been disturbed, but is it gonna mean anything? Vi charges bot and loses 60% of her life bar. That's not a very good gank, all things considered. Just ran in there and lost HP. Silas does come back, but not in time. Orianna takes the plate, but can she make out with her life? The exhaust does land on the set. She needs to try to run a little bit more. There's no abscond. She's safe. She gets a plate. She's actually the first player to 100 CS. She's been farming like a monster. As what we come to expect from this Orianna player. It's just so efficient at farming. Just completely crushing everybody else in the CS department. Even the mostly undisturbed Vlad cannot out-CS her. What an amazing player. What an amazing CSer. And generally, being really good at CSing is a really good sign of being a solid player. Just look at that income. A very early Ludens despite having 0 kill participation. Silas, he's gonna walk top. The hijack, I'm forgetting ability names. The hijack takes away the equalizer. He's just going to steal the Rumble equalizer and leave. Caitlyn, the steal attempt is good, but not enough. Smite is held, and this might be a Vlad dive. He's tanking a few tower shots, and the Rumble doubles back into the tower. The Hemoplague pop, not enough to kill, but the Rumble has to try to walk away. He can't defend this equalizer to clear the wave, and that's gonna send him back to base. Vladimir, second player in the game to hit 100 CS. Silver soon to follow. Still, despite that death, his build is coming on nicely. Very close to finishing Proto Belt. And now he gets some free time up top. Maybe it's just my personal bias from having played as and against a lot of Vladimirs, but I don't know. This I do not like fighting this champion. Oh, the ultimate comes down. The Caitlyn gets locked up. The damage, there's just so much. And the Nautilus has to try to run as well, but no, he won't even make it back home. And they do kill him off. Once again, just farming bot lane this game for all they're worth. And meanwhile, mid lane, the stolen equalizer. I can't talk. The stolen equalizer, not enough. And Orianna finds herself a solo kill. Vladimir, he's level 10. Celerity has activated for him. Red team loses their first. Red team kills their first turret. Blue team loses their first turret. But Vladimir, he's level 10. Celerity has activated. That's gonna give him what should be 42% CDR if I click on him right now. 36%. Because he is missing something. Wait, what is he what is he missing? He has a, oh, he's missing Cosmic Insight. Ah, he has the red secondary tree. That's why. He does have Proto Belt. His next item here is gonna be Zayas. It's a non-45% CDR Vlad. The healing subtree on red does work for him to extreme wonders. I personally like the extra 5% CDR. It seems 5% doesn't seem much on paper, but it's so strong. But once again, just my personal bias speaking. Leona, she's sitting in the brush. She's watching the whole thing unfold. Sivir is here as well. Vladimir, they're trying to wait out the Empowered Transfuse. He has no more Empowered Q. Set is running up as well. And here comes the pincer. He's standing still. And the stun, the lockdown is out there. He realizes he's in trouble. The Orianna gets killed off somewhere else. And here comes the rest of the fight. The Hemoplague heal is there. But he gets slammed back by the Showstopper and killed off. And now the rest of blue team arriving to the river after having dispatched the Orianna. But it's not enough there. The punch onto the set. Here comes the engage. The depth charge knockup is there. He's taking a lot of damage, but the shield there is blocking it all. And now he has to try to run. He's been set on fire. He has to try to run. Silas is the next victim. The hook is not gonna find him, and the set will be safe. The Caitlyn flashes forward. 1 bullet, 2 bullets, 2 shot, 2 kills. Gets a double kill for herself, but now she's flashed too far forward. Not gonna make it out. And that's gonna be it for the team fight. And overall, 3 for 4. Because Orianna died early. Red team kills 1 extra member. But they do give 2 kills over to the Caitlyn, who has gone back for almost a Storm Razor. She's just missing the cloak. The Sivir did do massive damage in that team fight, but she does end up dying as well. The only survivor was actually the Rumble, who arrived. Well, not the only. The only survivors were the Rumble and Leona, and Nautilus, who just ran away when the team fight was going south. Now 15-5, still a very good outcome here for red team. Sarah going to take away the red buff for herself. The sweepers are going out. And here comes the on the hunt. The speed is coming down. Set running in like a madman. And the wall breaker gets the Vi away. She pops the blast cone as well, just to get herself into safety. That's gonna give Herald 2 over to red team, unless the rest of blue team wants to say anything about it. Silas is here. Can he steal any impactful ultimates? He does have the hijack. They're just gonna let this go. Vladimir is trying to shove out mid, but he doesn't do any critical damage to the tower. And the blue team is going to just let red team take the Herald away for themselves. Leona coming in, Xana's Blade, the lockdown onto the Vlad. Is there a follow-up CC? No, there's not. The Hemo Play comes in with the Tides of Blood, but he's fallen so low. The Hemo Play kill is there, and now the Equalizer across the field. It is the stolen one, and the set. This Leona is going to die, but a massive Equalizer on top of the Rumble, and they're going to kill everybody here on blue team. Kaylin is the last to go. The Showstopper slams her away. A quadra kill going over to the Rumble. And the Herald gets deployed at mid. Is that a misclick? The misclick is fine. I mean, they just pulled off a beautiful 5-for-1 team fight. And the Herald just now made his way over. I don't think that was a misclick, but it just looked like a really awkward place to drop it. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It wasn't a misclick. Now, as the game kind of settles down, we are going to rewind a little bit and take another look at that team fight here that broke out. Because I was focusing a lot on the Vlad, but we're just gonna take a look at how the rest of the team fight went. So the Vlad gets locked down in the side and killed off. The Hemo Play healing wasn't enough to save him. But how about the actual fight here? You can see Vlad gets started off. I called one Equalizer being stolen. Yep, it was stolen, and there's been deployed on top of the red team. Vlad gets killed off here. And watch the ball. This ball is massive, just shoving back the rest of blue team into the death pit. And the Kaylin on the side, realizing she has nowhere to run, can't really do anything from here. That's gonna be a quadra kill. So now we're gonna speed up the game back to where we left it, 18-31. And we'll continue the game from here. Red team does take the dragon. They're actually on Soul Point, 1 away from Dragon Soul. Overall, an extremely commanding position from them. This is such a strong start from EZW. Their first round opponent seems to be completely outclassed. But here's the thing, is that really a misclick Caitlyn, or was she trying to some 5-head strats that just didn't work out well? Oh, the Rumble might be caught here, but he does have the Equalizer. Is he gonna drop it? And here comes the Vi, the Assault and Battery, but they're all lining up for the red carpet! Oh no, the damage is there, and the rest of the fight has gone to rise. 3-for-1. They took the bait beautifully. The bait gets eaten, but it doesn't even matter as the shark came in to swallow all the fishermen. Wait. Somewhere in there the analogy fell apart. Now the Caitlyn scrambling back home for the defense, but they have to be careful. Flash face breaker getting her back into the fray, and the Leona finds that kill, and just 4 extra bodies died for no reason. Red team's pinging missing on the Vladimir. He's back home. He has to try to defend, but the rest of his team has just dropped like flies. 5 seconds away from Baron. What is red team's call? Are they gonna immediately turn for it? No, they're not. They're actually going to send a lot of people bot side. Can they get a T2 here? I don't think they can. Then again, the rest of blue team is being pulled up. Orianna doesn't get the blue buff. Why takes it away? She does smite it, but she has another charge ready. Now, at what point does a Desperation Baron come to the table? Because you know if you give red team this Baron buff, you lose.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm gonna try for... No, not a dive, right? They can't dive this. Oh, they're gonna try though. Orianna gonna flash away, and here's the Ghost. And the Shockwave brings the Sylas back. The stolen Shockwave yoinks the Rumble slightly to the side, but he doesn't even feel it. And the Ghosted Orianna comes out. Vladimir comes in. Hemoplague, but only on one. Now he has to try to pull away. There's so much damage, he just can't survive. 26-7. Blue team is just feeding across the board, really. Like all of this pressure amounts to nothing. The Rumble has just outmatched the Vladimir in every fight so far. And the Spellbook Orianna just showing off, really. So many fights being won off these massive ultimates. There's so much AP damage that blue team can't handle. Even if they do survive this, there's an ultra fed Sivir holding Executioners. Executioners is still really amazing against champions like Sylas, champions like Vladimir. And it's actually shutting them down in these fights. They're just not getting the output that they really need. Now they have over a 10,000 gold lead, just 22 minutes into the game, and this is gonna be Soul. It's up in a minute. It's a very easy shove here for red team. They just push this wave down, and they go to Dragon. And they get the easiest soul of all time. Now, if blue team gets desperate, they'll try to fight them there. Ramos on the side, he has a teleport. Hex Flash gets the set out. He does get warded out. Sylas comes in, but the Abduct, it gets eaten by the Spell Shield, and he's taking so much damage. Oh no, he's just gonna die. He doesn't even get any range for the Kingslayer. And here comes the Rumble for the teleport. The Vladimir on the side, he has the damage, but he doesn't burst the Sivir. Just a little bit, almost. No, he does get it. Ties a plus burst, kills her off. Oh, this might be a really good team fight for blue team, but the White dives in solo 1v4. That's not a good way to start a team fight. And the flash for the Leona. Xana's Blade connects onto the Caitlyn. Dabs charge just to disengage, but here comes a 99% slow, and that's the rest of blue team put to the ground. Still a 5-for-1 team fight. They lose the AD carry, but it doesn't even matter. Blue team surrenders. They gonna knock themselves into the lower bracket. Team EZW advances to game 2. Placing no lower than 4th this clash. First place is still very much in their sights, and now they are scouting for their next game. So while we wait for their next game, let's check the graphs first of all. Oh my god. Well, kind of to be expected, really. Like if there was an MVP vote this game, it would definitely go to the Orianna. That's my vote for MVP. And now we have some time to rest and recuperate. They actually won this game so fast. They probably have a lot of time to discuss now. It's, what was it? The 23-minute victory. Wow. Screw Infernal Soul. Just win the team fight and get them to surrender. Now I'll bet you the other Clash game isn't over nearly as fast. So that's going to give them a lot of time to actually prepare for the next game. In fact, let's see if I can hop over for real quick.
13-7.
Hey guys.
What's up, Logan?
What up?
Hey, you won really fast, so I'm here to interview you before the next game.
Nice.
Wow, amazing.
Right.
Did you like that? Huh?
Sorry, you go ahead.
I said, did you like that clean macro?
Oh yeah, the clean macro, just amazing.
Nice.
My first question for this interview is, how did that win feel?
Pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Our Rumble DC. Yo, that Rumble Quadra kill. He was actually not. He was DC'd.
Oh.
He was not in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pressed R and then AFK.
Yeah. When I came back,
He
I had
didn't
a
even press
question.
R. He pressed R towards the end and then AFK'd. He was
Okay.
AFK, press R, then AFK'd.
I see. That's an interesting bit of information. Then I'll have to go back and take a look at that. My second question to you is, you won this game in 23 minutes, so now you have to wait for the next game. Now, I'm going to bet the other players didn't finish this game nearly as fast. So
No.
how do you think their mental will be when they just get out of their game and they realize their opponents won their first game so fast?
I don't think that never ever like affected our mental.
Yeah, I actually don't think it's super.
Yeah, it's like people
Yeah,
don't care.
if anything, when you win like a hard game, you feel like on fire. You know,
All right.
if anything, it works in your favor.
So how far do you guys think you'll take yourselves this clash?
I mean, easy win.
I'm feeling a
easy win.
Oh,
Easy
I'm
win.
feeling a win. Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. I'm going to go.
Oh yeah, Logan, when you looked at Champ Select, who did you think was going to win that game? Just curious.
I actually didn't look at the draft that much.
It's PPW.
We're against PPW.
Oh, I see.
Papa Willie.
I'll leave you guys to
Pop
prepare, and
over.
I'll go back to the caster desk.
See ya.
Good luck.
All right. Peace.
And that, while they're preparing for their next game, we're just going to waste some time, just talk about random stuff as they get settled in for game 2 against team, was it PPW or something? I don't remember already, but it doesn't even matter. Team names doesn't matter. The player names don't really matter. It's all about getting good, high quality games to cast. In a game mode where people are supposed to try really hard to win, just because it's good. You know, you grab you grab a few friends, you start a few games. In fact, here's a bonus cast. While they're scouting for the next game, I'm gonna cast an ARAM. Why not? Now, I will keep the client open on the other tab. So when they get into like maybe in game, I'll just go ahead and hop over. So one thing I noticed last game is that I was a little bit rusty, you know. I made a lot of wrong calls, made a lot of missed calls, tripping over my own words, just because I haven't casted the game in a long time. So just keep my voice going. Let's just cast an ARAM. Who's in this game? I don't freaking care. Who's dying? Freaking everybody is ARAM. It is gonna be a Fiddle 6. You're gonna get pulled back, and the Karsus Ghost is gonna Q a few times on the ground. Mundo's gonna toss a cleaver forward. A bomb is gonna kill off the Sona. Mundo's still going forward. The rise, he has to try to snare him up, but the Swain pulls him back. Then the Mundo tanking a little bit too many tower shots. He does die, but he kills off the rise as well. But here comes the Master E. He's returned. He wants to fight. The Aatrox, the sweet spot is not being found, and that's gonna give Master E the room to kill off the Misfortune. And the Aatrox does finish him off right after. 2, 1, and 4, doing very well. And Mundo as well, just running a train. Oh, in fact, the kills are actually pretty nicely split. Even the Misfortune gets a slice of the pie there. The other thing about ARAM is that people are constantly fighting. There's no macro to discuss, no draft, no counters. Karthus' role in ARAM is pretty simple. He's just designed to die. Master E is always also a really stupid champion to go up against an ARAM just because he gets resets on resets. There's gonna be enough, but here comes the Crowstorm's 3-man fear, and the Harvest is gonna suck up the Swain, but the Aatrox, he wants more. The World Ender is pop, but he gets crescendoed under the tower, and he has to try to run away, but his wings are broken, and he drops down to the ground. A massive bullet time is gonna finish off one. No more than one, but the Misfortune gets a double kill regardless. The bomb is gonna lash onto the Karsus. It does kill him off, and he dies so far away from the wave. The Requiem is gonna come down, but the Fiddle is drain tanking it. He's not gonna die, getting so much life back. The Sona, the bomb, it does kill her off. 5 to 14. Man, I've been casting stomps this time. Even on ARAM, this is a stomp. The Swain does flash forward auto, brings down the Fiddlestick, but now the bomb is on him. He loses so much of his health. The Mundo comes down, but it's a failed effort. He does die. Roll more forward. It's gonna pour one to the back, but he's so low. And here comes the rest of the damage. The Aatrox gets a chopping party, kills off the Master E yet again. 1, 5, and 4. Just not having a good game here for the Master E. The bomb gonna be latched onto the Rise. He tries to run away. Is he gonna make it out? No. No, he's not gonna make it out. Aatrox, flash, Q. The Surge Q does find 2 sweet spots, but the rest is not coming down. Fiddle does not yet have Crowstorm, but he's gonna get Rune prisoned up. The Vision of the Empire, but it goes through the Zayas. He has to try to flash back. Mundo kills off the Sona. Master E comes in, but his Alpha Strike doesn't find anybody. He has to meditate tank, but he doesn't get it. He's going to be killed off here by the Misfortune. The Bountiful Harvest gonna try to fill up the Hiddlesticks HP bar. And the Rise on the back, he has to try to wave clear. Aatrox dashes forward, not gonna find anything. They have to lay siege to this tower. Kills don't matter nearly as much as killing towers in ARAM, contrary to popular belief. The rest of Red Team, they're actually pretty low. Their next team fight might go really bad for them. And if you're interested, they're still selling for Clash, or not even in Champ Select yet, so we're still casting this ARAM. Just for some nice action, like a quick breather in between Clash games, because waiting for Clash games can take terribly long. Oh, the Fiddlesticks tank so much damage. The Karsus finishes him off. The Sona is gonna queue forward. That's gonna be the first death here for Red Team in a while. He's gonna go back to try to go get some more money. He's got 12 assists and no kills. Oh no. He did first item the Hourglass. Is that Hourglass? It's obscured. Yeah, it's Hourglass. The bomb's not gonna find it. No, Karsus will live. Bullet time doesn't kill anybody, but the Mundo, he's in the middle 5. Cleaver cuts the Sona in half, but he's gonna be brought low by the damage. The file from the Karsus killing him off. The bomb onto the Aatrox, but it's a friendly bomb. It's not gonna be enough. Alpha Strike in the back. E is cleaning house. Zillion flashes away, and now Blue Team finally finds a favorable fight for themselves. E wants more. He does come in. He gets a shutdown. He's popping off now. 3, 6, and 4. He's only got 5 CS, but who needs CS when you can just kill people? Fiddlesticks, a massive Crowstorm. He's gonna come in. He doesn't have the Zion's Hourglass. The Harvest, the tank is not there. And now the Swing kills him off as well. Master E is still alive in the back, despite all this. Now Red Team, because they started at around half health, had no chance of winning this fight, but now they full on reset. They gave away a little bit of gold to the Master E actually. About 600 gold from the 2 kills. Shutdowns included. And now he wants more. Alpha Strike in the back, but the Misfortune guns him down. It does bring her to about half. Sona tries to speed up the rest of her party, but they're not gonna make it out. The Misfortune flash, not flash, heal does get her in range. The Karsus goes. The Lead Waste, it finds her. The Misfortune snipe. Back to the fountain she goes. And now the rest of Red Team trying to lay siege to the tower. It's dropped down to about half. The Demolish proc is out. Who has to demolish it? It's the Mundo. He chops the tower down a little bit. And now it's gonna fall. The bricks are no longer holding and the tower collapses. Swain gets stabbed in the face by the Aatrox and the Requiem. It doesn't kill anybody. The Mundo's a little bit too tanky, but the Bountiful Harvest gets interrupted by his own Zayas. And now he's gonna be brought low. The bomb onto the Master E. The true damage snowball. It might be coming out. It does come out. And now the Aatrox comes back. He wants to slice apart the Rise. The Dunk is coming out. There's no knockup, but the damage is there. He just needs to hit one more. He can't find the target, but the bomb will finish him off instead. The Sona has to try to run. Q2 sweeps up. Not gonna be found. Flash forward. Q3. The World Ender gets popped. The passive speed up is there. He does die on top of the Defile. The Death Defied gonna keep the Karsus up enough to kill off the Aatrox as well. It's gonna be 16 to 28. 12 kill deficit here for Blue Team. And now the rest of the Red Team coming in for a siege. Demolish on the tower once again. Master E runs in. Alpha Strike onto the minions. It doesn't connect onto a champion. Now he has to try to run. Takes a lot of pain. He's going down to about 40% health. Meditate, healing himself back up. Now the rest of the team fight might be breaking out soon. Karthus, he's playing frontline. He doesn't have, oh, he does have a tier. He doesn't have Archangels. He does have a Rova. In fact, 3 Rovas on Blue Team. They are not one for originality. So many Rods of Aegis. It's counting down to perhaps they're scaling. Oh no, it's a solo port! The Sona gets betrayed by the Rise, and now the rest of the team fight happens when the Blue Team has lost their medic. Death Defied, but the Karsus is out of range for everybody except the Zillion. Master E, he wants to make something happen, but he's in the middle of 4. Just instantly killed off here. And that's a terrible fight. That was a solo port from the Rise, and it just gets only the Sona into the fray, and she just dies. Only on ARAM do you see that play happen. The bomb does get lashed onto the Swain. The takedown, it blows up on the Sona as well. Crescendo, it only finds the Mundo. Mundo takes no damage. Aatrox gonna be killed off by the AP damage. But now the Mundo running train in the back. Master E, he is coming in. He slices down the Mundo. Now there's no tank. Zillion self-ults. He needs to try to get out, but Master E has given up the pursuit. The root does come down. Oh no, but the Rise, the overload, it doesn't land on the Zillion. Lands on the Misfortune instead. And the Misfortune going to try to return fire onto the Karthus, flashing back into the relic. Master Yi flashes forward, but he doesn't find anything. The Snowball does find it, but Fiddlesticks, he's not going to go in. He doesn't have the Crow Storm. The Reap is going to try to clear it away, but it doesn't do that much damage against minions. Now 10.5 minutes in. This Misfortune is really fed. Like, honestly. Honestly, like, it's pretty good. This Master E, on the contrary, is not fed. He's working on his Rage Blade, but he's so far away from it. Here comes the engage. Mundo's running in. He's really tanky. And now he's running back out. The bomb's not going to find any meaningful targets. It's an open in him. Misfortune comes in for the shooting. The Snowball, it does land. Swain not going to go in though. Following through is that Snowball will be a certain death sentence. Wizard of Empire, it does connect onto the 2. Snowball lands. It was a Master Yi who landed that one, but he's not going to go in. Aatrox, he's coming in for the dunk. Q2, Q3, not going to find any meaningful sweet spots. Karthus is going to die under his tower. Here comes a Requiem, but the Mundo, he can't die yet. He's going to revive, but he's going to resurrect in the middle of 4 people. Is he going to make it out? He does try to flash away. The Swain comes down, and the Root is there. They try to pull him in. There's just so much damage. The Burning Agony, not enough. Master E, he does survive, but only on a sliver of his life. Here comes the Crow Storm, the explosion, everything happens in place. Oh, Master E, the Zayas, he can't find the target. And now the Drain Tank, not enough. Rise kills off the Scarecrow. It's just a Zillion left. The Clockman has to try to run. He has to rewind, but he doesn't have any other skills. Just gonna get out of there. I got a Discord message. Update for you, our last opponents tilted themselves out of the tournament. Oh no, they forfeited? After losing round 1? Oh god. Oh my god, they lost so badly they just forfeit? Oh my goodness. Like, you can tell, like, something was going wrong with the team. At the end of that game, like, they just weren't together. They were just getting 3-4-man caught out. The communication for blue team in the last Clash game obviously wasn't all there. And I think, like, after getting stomped so hard in the first game, you get a little bit tilted. Maybe you yell at your teammates a little bit too much, and then you just dissolve the team right then and there. It happens. It unfortunately happens. But yeah, as it stands, this is suddenly a 7-man tournament. Forfeited in round 1. My goodness. Crescendo gonna completely whiff. World Ender gonna get revived. And now the Master Yi on the side doing absolutely no damage to the Mundo, and the bomb just gonna take him out of the game. But now the Aatrox gets killed off as well. The Karthus has to try to run. The bombs do so much damage right now. Misfortune gets locked up. The damage is there. The overload, it does snipe her down. 12 kills. Doesn't matter if you're dead. This is gonna be a very long, difficult siege here for red team. But the Rise gonna get forced back. Drain Tank is coming out. And now more Drain Tanking. He just doesn't die. He lives on a sliver of life. How fast is Zillion? Oh, not fast enough to save the Fiddlesticks. The Drain Tank. Valiant effort. Not enough. Mundo comes down. He has to try to run now. He's in a little bit of a dangerous situation. Not gonna be fine. Zillion hasn't died in a long time. And seems like he's not planning to go anytime either. The Aatrox trying for a 1v5. That's not going to work out for him. Doesn't even land that Q3 before dying. That's very overzealous. And now suddenly blue team has a means to push Zillion. He's going to get grabbed back, but the Overload not going to connect. Vision of Empire going to whiff as well. Now Fiddlestick's gonna come in, but he gets crescendoed up immediately, and now he's gonna be put into the revive. He does come back up. Actually, while I'm at it, what is Zillion's ultimate called? Chrono something. Chrono Break? No, that's Echo, right? Oh, Master Yi just dies, running away at the speed of sound. What's it called? Chrono Shift. There it is. There's like Chrono Shift, Chrono Break. Too many Chrono abilities. And, you know, Faceless Void and Dota has Chrono Sphere. A lot of Chrono spells. And Chrono Lock, no, Time Lock, that's his E. A Chrono Lock would sound very awkward. Oh, the double bomb, it does land on the rise. He has tried to run away. Sona, she's a medic, but there's so many critically low members. She can't heal them all. Swain gonna try to sustain himself, and here comes the Aatrox, but the Q, the flash is a little bit delayed. He's not gonna find damage, he's just locked down under the tower and just get dropped. And that's gonna be a very bad start to this fight for Red Team. They have to try to run. The Zillion fully out of mana. He can't even heal himself. And the Requiem damage is gonna come down, killing off the Fiddlesticks as well. It's just 2 members left. Suddenly, a sudden reversal of fate. Their siege has utterly failed. And now they've been driven back to their own tower. Still can hold. They can still hold. But suddenly, I feel like this game just got prolonged. Mundo tries to 1v4, that's not gonna work out well for him. And suddenly the Master Yi, he's got Bork, he's got Rage Blade, he's almost got Wit's End. He's looking to be scary. Doesn't even matter if you feed. If the rest of the team can't deal with you, maybe you just get fed. Here comes a Highlander, it's gonna return. Now a 2v1, the Aatrox not gonna be able to survive, but here comes the rest of the cavalry. Master Yi carrying a bomb, gonna run away the way he came. Once he gets Wit's End, that's a lot to sustain. He emote spams for the taunt. Swain gonna come in, but the Finger Blast not there to kill him off, and that's just gonna be him to his demise. World Ender bonus speed comes out for the Aatrox. He's gonna try to run down the Master Yi, not gonna find it. Now the siege once again begins here for Red Team. Maybe this one will end better than the last one, but they don't have the misfortune. Blue Team doesn't have their Swain either. That's not a fair trade. You should fight with your misfortune. Rune Prison does lock up the Aatrox for now, and he's tanking so much damage. This frontlining is a little bit too aggro for the Aatrox. He needs to dial it back. It's really not working out well for him. Like time and time again, he's just been killed before the siege can begin proper. It's definitely a symptom of being slightly overzealous. Oh, the double bomb. It finds 2 stuns beautifully. But suddenly, Red Team finds themselves against what kinda is like a brick wall. You got 4 Rod of Ages. Even Sona bought one. And that's actually got Red Team a little bit of pickle. Because now suddenly, almost everybody on Blue Team is really tanky in terms of HP. And Red Team doesn't really have a solid way of answering HP stacking. They don't have any percent health shredders. They don't have any solid backline DPS except for Misfortune. And the Aatrox isn't really built to kill really high health targets either. Crowstorm is also going to take a lot longer to burn these people down. And suddenly Red Team finds themselves in a very difficult siege. Thanks to champions like Ryze and Karsus, Blue Team can just wave clear indefinitely here. So what's going to be Red Team's play to break the game open? Mundo gets sped up. He needs to be a lot tankier than this if they're going to have a chance. Bomb gonna land. Ooh, double bomb on the Swain. The cleaver damage, it might be enough to slowly chip him down. Healing reduction is applied on him. Misfortune. That's gonna take the Swain to about half, but they have a Sona. It's by no means fast, but it's a source of healing nonetheless. Bullet time gets committed, but there's no kill. And that's actually gonna be pretty costly when you commit these ultimates for no kill. Misfortune flashes away. She's gonna be fine. Oh my god, that's a beautiful bomb stun. And now the Master Yi, he jumps in, but he's found himself in the middle of 4. The Fiddlesticks flee, send him running back the way he came. The Aatrox gonna kill off the Karthus, and now he's diving again, but this time it might be the good dive. This game just got broken open. The Requiem is only killing off the Fiddlesticks, and that's so many House targets still. The Riots, he can't do it here. The Nexus is too squishy. Mundo flashes forward, is gonna try to zone him off. They're going for the kill. The Realm Warp, not gonna be there to save him. That's gonna be the end of the game. Red team takes it in the ARAM intermission for Piltover Cup Day 2. And now as we switch back to the active scene, still scouting for Clash. Oh man, the ARAM, the ARAM intermission. That was fun. That was fun. I don't usually cast ARAM games just because constant action is fun, but it doesn't have a lot of talking material. Like all you're doing is doing play-by-play the entire time. It's good training for play-by-play, but I don't know. It's something about it. It's just it wears my voice out, man. Like I already feel my voice going after casting one ARAM, and that entire 23-minute slaughter put out in Clash Game 1 doesn't hurt my voice at all. That's why I have this bottle of water next to me. I might need to go get a refill at some point during our coverage today. You know, if these games last a little bit too long.
We'll make them short for you, Logan.
Oh baby, what are you doing here?
We're still in the fucking waiting room because the other team hasn't finished their game yet.
Yeah, I know. I've been casting their ARAM games as intermission.
Oh, nice.
Just to keep something going.
Holy shit.
This is why you don't win fast.
40, wait, the 50-minute game, holy shit.
Oh,
50-minute
baby.
game. God. Alright, bye. Don't die, Logan.
I'm not gonna die, I have water.
Nice.
I'll be fine. But will I be fine if I cast this ARAM game? then again, the other Clash team is in a 50-minute game, so maybe they're over soon? I can't imagine a game going on for that long. I feel like the other Clash game is about to end, you know? Huh. I do need to probably give my voice a break. Like it's constantly shouting strains my voice out a lot. I do have friends that are in bands who do somewhat like long speeches, people who present a lot, and like they have just in passing I've heard some pointers from them, right? And like one of the things they say that kind of helps you not lose your voice in prolonged casts, or like not lose your voice if you're training to sing or if you're training to like do anything that involves either talking for a long time or just shouting at some points. One tip that they gave me is like the way to describe is really archaic because it's only in passing, it's only in random chats, but they're basically like vocalize not with your throat, but vocalize with like the tip of your tongue. And that's something that I've never really received training on. Like I don't really know how to do it. I can appreciate the concept of it. Like yeah, that would enable you to like essentially speak for a prolonged period of time without feeling fatigue, without straining your voice. But in practice, like I don't know how you do that. Like they have throat exercises maybe, but other than that, like some other forms of training as well, just to maybe it's like a mind over matter kind of thing too, you know? Just something like making sure that you're not tired essentially after long periods of speaking. Because when you scream, like when you do shoutcasting and something exciting happens, you can't help but basically raise your voice to match the action. And that's kind of a part of doing play-by-play, where part of their jobs of a play-by-play caster again, not saying I'm like a professional one. I am most definitely 100% not a professional caster by any means. But one thing that, play-by-play casters do is try to match the hype of the moment with their own delivery, because it's really up to them to kind of provide the extra flavor on top of the action. It's when really historical sports moments, like this extends beyond esports. Historical sports moments as well. Important milestones are almost always accompanied by a similarly memorable call from a commentator. I think in esports this concept is much more prevalent than normal sports. I'm not a sports watcher, like I watch them somewhat avidly. But some of the most historic esports plays are almost always accompanied by the caster call, and you end up remembering the call more than the moment itself. Like for fans of TI, you'll remember the classic lines like Seb from the most recent 2 tournaments. I was about to say the most recent one, but no, that was 2 years ago. Like you remember what the casters say. Like you remember it's a disaster. You remember Faker, what was that? You remember Simple, what was that? they say what is that a lot. Something like, this isn't, like, what was that called? This wasn't a major. No one's ever done that before. Wombo combo. You remember the call more than the moment itself. Probably. At least that's how I see it. And it's really up to the caster to kind of... If something really important happens, it's up to them to elevate the hype. And it's up to them to match the moment. And what this really long-winded talk is going to accomplish, other than buying time for the next game to start, because holy crap, why are they still scouting? You know what? Screw it. Let's watch this next ARAM game. Let's just watch this next ARAM game. Screw it. But yeah, like I do appreciate shoutcasters. Like they're a huge inspiration for why I started doing this in the first place. But man, oh man, the amount of training that you have to do to consistently do it, that's insane. Like, you don't really appreciate how much training actually goes into this until you try doing it and you realize, oh no, I lose my voice after an hour. Or, oh no, I trip over my own words when important stuff happens because my mind can't think of the words fast enough that I can say them. Like there's a concept called art mastery where the more you perfect a craft, the more you hone it, the better you're supposed to get. It's a very intuitive concept. It's been coined to be something like that. And like the idea is essentially practice makes perfect. And the first time you do something will always suck compared to the 500th time you do something. But I'm more than 120 something casts in. I like to think I've gotten better at doing it than when I first started. But the problems, because I still haven't received any, nor do I have intentions of receiving any super professional training for, voice acting or stage performance or just shoutcasting, I guess. It's really, it makes you really appreciate like the amount of work that actually goes into perfecting your craft like this. And it makes me realize that I still have a long way to go myself. It's a really humbling thing to think about. But while this ARAM game unfolds, talking about that was a nice distraction. Gave my voice a little bit of a break. We're not gonna get too invested into this game because guess what? There ain't champ select. Game 2 is about to start. So we're just gonna watch this game as if we're just an audience. It does seem like blue team is ahead in this game. Oh, the Lucian is gonna get chained up here by the LeBlanc. Killed off. Oh, that's a very, very deep fizz. Who's gonna get this kill? It's gonna be the LeBlanc. That's a double kill to the LeBlanc. The Nivea stirring up her frost. Oh no, the minions, they're just walking into their death. Just not... Nivea can infinitely wave clear, making sieging exceptionally difficult. The bubble not gonna find it. Oh, TF locked the blue card. He has to throw it. He threw it. There's a shutdown onto the LeBlanc. The cards are being selected. TF's walking forward. Teemo's dropping shrooms. It's gonna be tripped up by the Zac. And the Zac, the punch is there. Teemo gets locked down and killed off. But the Glacial Storm from Anivia is still ringing. Oh man, this is a difficult push. This is such a difficult siege. Anivia can just stall this forever. They need to try to kill her somehow. But the Fizz is gonna dive way in the back and they're hitting everybody except the Anivia. Might as well kill the rest of her team. Cannon's gonna surge forward. The lightning, it does kill off the backline, but the rest of blue team has already dove. Anivia flashes backwards, but Teemo has respawned. The calling goes off somewhere in the back. Not enough. Zac gets killed off here by the Teemo as well. The calling, the bullet, the piercing light, it's all there. Cannon gets killed off, but the Teemo, the ambush is there. He kills off the Lucian, getting that shutdown. Fizz has to try to make this happen, but there's so much magic damage between the Storm and the Shrooms. Fizz sits on the Teemo and kills him off. LeBlanc dashing forward. The chain's gonna miss, but the last auto! Ooh. LeBlanc finds the kill. There's gonna be the shutdown. 27-17. But you know, going back to the original thought, Art Evolution kind of states that if you want to get better at something, just keep doing it, you know? Keep doing it, you'll get better. That's not really entirely true. You do need some sort of professional instruction to become truly excellent at anything. And sometimes it's dangerous to just keep going at it, like stubbornly throw yourself against everything and get better. Sometimes it's wrong, like working out, for example. You can't just work out by yourself and be like, oh, the more I work out, the stronger I'll get, because without professional supervision or like somebody to at least guide you through, if you're completely new to working out, you're at a much higher risk of injuring yourself. And the concept like, oh, the more you do it, the better I'll get, but if you just don't know how to get better and you just blindly throw yourself at doing it, you'll either stagnate and plateau because there's not really someone to help you reach the next level all the time, or in some cases like physical activities, you just end up injuring yourself. And a lot of times, yeah, Art Evolution does mean that you have to get better. Otherwise, you do run into the danger of consistently producing garbage. You gotta engage in some sort of a feedback loop. Again, all of this seems really obvious, but you know, vocalizing all of this out, it's kind of a reassurance that... Is it a reassurance? But it's kind of a reassurance that, you know, there is a purpose to doing stuff. And there's a purpose in doing things right. Finding a way to kind of set yourself on the right track, getting a good start, knowing where to improve, knowing how to improve. And in that respect, feedback is important, right? And I think one big criticism I can give myself in this regard is I'm fully aware that a lot of my casts just straight up suck. In fact, very few of my casts are actually public. I make the Clash cast public because, you know, it's Clash, why not? But so many of my shoutcasting don't make it to live because I'm personally unhappy with it. That, like, if I'm truly serious about improving this craft, that might not be the way to go. Like, I need to put both the good and the bad out there. Because thinking like, oh, you only exhibit the good parts isn't a gateway to improvement. You gotta let people crap on you sometimes. You gotta be like, dude, this sucks. Well, like, constructive criticism, right? Like, knowing how you can do better, knowing where you can start improving. Self-reflection doesn't take you... It takes you far, but it doesn't take you to the end. And it also kind of goes back to what I do as a hobby. Like, a huge reason I didn't really take any lessons on like shoutcasting or performing in general is just because I've always looked at this, and I still do, and I probably will always will look at this as just some sort of hobby to kill time on the weekends. I'm just a boy in his mid-20s with nothing better to do on a weekend. So why not just do this? Like this, at no point was this gonna be a serious endeavor to make something of myself, unless I guess I find the opportunity where there's a break or something. But I'm not like sitting on my hands waiting for it or anything. Like, I have my own career, I have my own direction in life, and this is just something fun in the side. And I never intended to put... I mean, it sounds bad when I say effort, but I never really intended to devote a large chunk of my life to doing this as if it will be something I will be professionally engaged in at one point. But maybe if I put so much effort into casting, there's the argument that if you're doing something, why not just do it right? It's interesting to think about. Now, it does look like this game's gonna end, but the second Clash game has started. So let's see if they end this game right here. If they don't end this game right here, I'll just quit out. We'll watch them for like 10 more seconds. It's just a LeBlanc. Can she solo defend? Teemo's up too. He's dropping shrooms. No, this game is over, right? 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 I mean, they're just kind of playing with their food, but please hurry it up. I have a game to cast. I have a game to cast. Come on. Oh no, they can't finish the game. Oh, TF just runs in and dies. Oh. Oh, Fizz, can he do it? Just sit on the Teemo. Cannon. Alright, Lucian's panicking now. He needs to end the game. He's got to end the game. One more shot will do it. Oh, he does get it. He does die for it, but he gets it. Alright, we're going to quit out of that game. Who cares about that one? And we're going to get into Clash Game 2. Piltover, Day 2. We're finally back to the action after what's like a 30 plus minutes of not doing anything. Just watching ARAM games. Game 2 begins again. Oh, very interesting. It's gonna be Ezreal Yuumi. Probably very quickly soaring to the ranks of my least favorite bot lane matchup imaginable. I'm gonna send a message to our Discord because we all hate Ezreal Yuumi. Gonna let them know that our boys are engaging in filthy debauchery of playing Ezreal Yuumi. Now, without going too much into matchups, without going too much into all the matchups, I will just say the Syndra's name is very funny. I don't know why mental go kaboom in all lower casts is funny to me, but I just look at it and it's like, haha, mental go boom. That could be a meme. You know, it's not a new meme, is it? It's been popping up recently. It's like one guy going, no, you can't just do this or that, and the second guy just goes, haha, something gold, something. It's hard to name memes. It's way better to just describe them. But that's the meme. It's just like one guy going, no, you can't do this, and the second guy's like, this could be a meme, you know? Second guy just goes, the punchline is there. We just need to find the setup, but the punchline is there. The punchline is, haha, mental go kaboom. Now we just need to make a setup happen. But here's game 2. It's starting off. Maokai top, Jarvan jungle, Syndra mid, Vayne Lulu bottom lane against Ornn top, Set jungle, Orianna mid, Ezreal Yuumi bottom. Ezreal Yuumi. Man, like I hate this lane because you can't punish this, and it's so hard to punish Ezreal Yuumi. Now, I will fully admit to being bad at this game. But I can't really think of a way to beat Ezreal Yuumi. I know like the classic answer is like, oh, just all in him. Because if you land early CC on the Ezreal, if you bring in jungler intervention, you can shut him down. And shutting him down works, like don't get me wrong, it's a valid strategy. It just seems like you have so little safety net Like if even the slightest thing goes wrong in Ezreal Yuumi lane, Ezreal Yuumi just snowballs on you. I don't know. Maybe the Syndra's name will come to fruition here. Mental go kaboom. Oh, the very early invade. He's gonna try to start a scuffle here, but now the Maokai comes in. Syndra's on the other side. Dark Sphere gets dropped. This very early action involves a few people, but no summoners are blown, no casualties. I have to rearrange a scoreboard. Oh, Ezreal. Main started tumble, so there's no pin to the wall. The prowling projectile cannot be directed. She's not inside somebody. Just gonna rearrange the board real quick. Ezreal has to go back. This is actually a pretty late back. Pretty sure he can still make it to blue buff. It's a little bit dicey. Spam pings coming down. Yeah, they know this is worth it. But because Ezreal gets scouted out, he's not gonna do the red steal. Right? Like one thing you can do as Ezreal, because junglers never smite their first camp, you can just Mystic Shot and last hit it from over the wall. Blitzcrank can do this too with Rocket Grab. I mean, to be honest, a lot of champions that can do it, but Ezreal and Blizz are the two most viable ones to do this with. But because Ezreal was caught out and lost basically half his health bar, he had to reset. So he couldn't steal that red. So nothing eventful happens early game. Man, watching Bramble Smash and Oran Q, whatever that's called, Volcanic Rupture, I would never have remembered that name. Watching those take creeps is really satisfying when you kill like 3 creeps with it. Very aggressive trading happening at bottom lane. Vayne actually falls to half. Now Vayne's health not easily recuperable. Lulu is the one who brings the heal in this matchup. Glitter Lance does land, and the Ezreal level 2. He's going in Purling Projectile. The heat-seeking missile. Yuumi finds that first blood. What an amazing early game kill. What a skillful display. Do I sound salty already? I probably sound salty already. What a skillful display from the Yuumi, killing off the Lulu like that. Just so much skill involved. Anyway, the Jarvan gonna be found by the set, driven off. So far, first blood to red team bot lane. Man, who didn't ban you? Why would you not ban Yuumi in a Clash game? Actually, is this first time Yuumi? I don't think Ray has played Yuumi before. I could be wrong. I saw he one-trick Leona. Like the last time we saw him play Nautilus in Clash, that was like first time ever Nautilus. He was reading abilities. Is this first time Yuumi? But then again, like, first time Yuumi is fine. It doesn't take a lot of skill to play Yuumi. You can understand what this champion does pretty simple, like pretty quickly. It attaches someone, Q every once in a while, that's literally not missable. Unless you really get your ankles broken somehow. And once some guy gets low, you press E. And that's like the basic level play Yuumi. Congrats, you can hit plat with it now. There's like the more advanced version, or like more advanced strats where you can momentarily detach to tank skill shots. That's like tier 2. Pressing buttons is tier 1. Knowing when to detach. Like the right time is to detach tier 2. Ooh, this might be a turn. No, it's not. The CC is too much or it gets locked up. Is there a tier 3 Yuumi? Is that where the skill ceiling ends? Oh, the Ezreal. The damage. Oh, the true damage from the silver bolts. It found him. The exhaust is there too. Ooh, that's actually a really good kill coming out of the Vayne. She found that solo kill, and unfortunately Zumi is not pressed in time. Yeah, this exhaust. That slow probably caught the Ezreal off guard. Worth noting that this is a blue team bot lane that does not run Ignite. In fact, they have 1 TP. The Orianna player does seem to favor Spellbook a lot. Oh, the Yuumi going for the minion tank to delay the wave. Oh, Ezreal does make it back in time to save the cat. That's huge, actually. That means the Ezreal doesn't lose the cannon wave. Okay, so that kill there from the Vayne gets kind of salvage because now Ezreal gets to catch a wave, and now this mini wave in a beautiful position for them. Oh. Yeah, Vayne's gonna come back to find this wave frozen. Now Set looking for Dragon. They know that blue team bot lane has back, so this is a really good time to do Drake. Yuumi attaches onto the Set to help him as well. Seems like this will be Drake over to red team. Very early Inferno, 5.5 minutes in. This is the bread and butter strategy here for Team EZW. They do this all the damn time. Like, around this time of every game, they kill Drake. Their playbook has like one strat, and it's taken them this far. If this was like LCS or LEC, you can't just have the same strat every time. You know why people meme on NA for the 10-minute Herald? Because that's literally the only strat the entire region knows. And you just get exploited at Worlds for it. That's kind of like EZW, the true NA boys. One strat. 540 Dragon, 9-minute like 9-minute topside. I mean, if it works. If it's the standard meta strat, why question it? I do wonder, like, if there was ever the NA Clash team that's really good at disrupting game flows, how would Clash teams adapt if some teams just didn't play standard? Just cheesed all game. Just fundamentally warp the game to something that fits their playstyle. Like how well would Clash teams on average adapt? Because I like to think if you put 5 coordinated players against 5 solo players of equal skill against each other, the coordinated players win 95% of the time. Like, it's not a competition. But in Clash, you have comms on everybody. Ooh, get good condemn. That's probably the end of that gank, unless the set still wants it. Oh, he does still want it. The face breaker comes out. Vayne flashes away. The polymorph, that's a really fast squirrel. And here comes the rest of the teleport. Maokai comes in. The roots are coming down. The twisted advance onto the Yuumi. The Yuumi has been isolated. She's gonna be killed off here. No reattach possible. Excellent TP there from blue team top laner, getting themselves yet another kill. However, no objectives to be taken. Dragon is already dead. But it has been 8 minutes. Herald has spawned. Ornn gets this time to shove out top. He hasn't a teleport. But he does have some free time with that tower. Maokai has to slowly walk back. He might lose a plate here. Ezra, be careful. Lulu, he's actually in kill range for Lulu. If the Lulu had like 50 more mana, I'm pretty sure he can just burst him from that health. Vayne coming in. She wants to make this happen. Oh no, she's walking up too far. What is she doing? The Whimsy, it does come down, but here comes the teleport. The ball gets sent forward, crushing the Vayne apart. And here comes the rest of the gank. Jarvan's on the side. The Tri gets pinked out. Trey top lane is coming out, but the Ornn fighting the Maokai. Can he do it here? Ooh, the damage. That brittle damage is insane. The slow comes down on the Maokai. Ornn loses the trade, but he has a reset anyway. He does take a solid chunk of Maokai's life away. He doesn't have his own teleport, critically. So a lot of that early first blood from the Yuumi, the edge from that did kind of get dulled a little bit. It's still like 68 CS to 39, which is obscene. But for the most part, their edge has been blunted by the last few ganks, and that Vayne solo kill definitely goes along well as well. The last gank from the set did blow the summoners of the Vayne, so now she only has exhaust. But we're just laning. And Orianna is always CSing monster, look at that. With the teleport roam, still the highest CS in the game by a very long shot. This man just does not miss CS. Vayne gonna condemn the Ezreal into the tower. Prowling projectile nails. Like think of I'm thinking of an extreme case for Yuumi. In a world where maybe all Prowling Projectile does is slow. It does 0 damage. But it slows for like... Well, right now it slows for 20%, I'm pretty sure. Right? I think it slows for 20. Yeah, 20%. But like if they dial the slow up to like 40 or 50%, but made it do no damage, it would be an awful nerf. Like, very terribly designed nerf. But at this point, I was just like, just do it to her. Lulu gonna be caught out here. Orianna once again roams bot. They find the support. Triple Fairy Charm, not enough to save her. Two giants brawling it out top lane. Maokai and Ornn, current state of the game, probably the two best tanks in the game. Ornn is Ornn, and Maokai has been pretty dominant as of late. He does have Call of the Forge God. Is he gonna send the Ram in? He is gonna send the Ram in, but the CC is there. The Ram, it misses. He doesn't get the knockback. I mean, he might be dead even with. Yeah, he might be dead even with it, but missing that knockback does cost him greatly. That's first tower. That is, yeah, that's first. Ow. I feel for that tower. That's just dead. Exhaust goes out on the lane, dissuading her chase. And here comes Orianna. Oh, beautiful flash shockwave. It does take down the Maokai immediately. And now the Jarvan falling super low. He's being taken out. The red buff, not the red buff, but the red smite, not enough to offset the damage. Orianna gets herself super fed. 4-0 and 0 with 100 CS. 12 minutes in. Once again, just looking super strong at this stage in the game. Now her compare Syndra doesn't have Luden's Echo done yet. And this Orianna sitting on 8 stacks of Darksteel. She essentially has equal items, like superior items, but equal build. She just finished it way faster than the Syndra. Now the next play here is gonna be boss side. Set's running down. Jarvan's taking red buff. They do sweep out the ward. They already saw the set. Pings are going down. Maokai is down here. Because top has lost their tower all the way, taking so much damage. The damage is not there. Condemn onto the Ezreal. Sends him into a wall. But now the Lulu, she's fading back for the Jarvan. The true shot kills her off regardless. The polymorph not there for the CC. Twisted Advance comes in. There's still not that too much damage. Ezreal cannot survive even with the Yuumi. The tie down is there. The knock up. The bouncy hells, everything coming down, but the Syndra has arrived on the fray as well. The roots are coming out. Haymaker shield, not enough, and now it's just the Ornn. He's the last survivor. Orianna has arrived to the scene. Shockwave brings back 1, and now the Maokai has to try to run away. The knock up onto the wall, it chains him down. Overall, a 3-for-3 trade? No, 3-for-2. A 3-for-2 exchange, so it favors red team. And still, in the CSing department, everybody on blue team is losing. We don't watch a jungler, but everybody except the jungler on blue team is losing in CS. That means, despite kills, which are now behind, but like, despite the first tower, despite the herald, they're behind in gold. Top tier 1 is probably out of grasp now for red team for like a solid 15 minutes, and that might be a pain point. Not being able to kill the top outer, because you do lose a decent chunk of map control, especially with Herald 2 3 minutes out from now. But it's not feasible to siege that tower right now. But I think red team can still identify that their bot and mid are really strong, and their top is not useless. Like, he's not behind by any means. He can still very well do his job as a tank. He's not squishy. He can survive for a very long period of time. They can win fights on command right now still. Yuumi does have to be careful. Solo clearing a ward is always scary. They do get the pink successfully. Orianna commandeering the Raptor camp. Additional CS to her. Just getting so strong. She actually second item the Magi's. In this situation, I do think it is the right call. It gets you that extra bit of power, and because you're so strong, you want to leverage this momentum. Like, if you're good enough to dunk on your enemy, dunk on them harder. Why not? Vayne does go for an aggressive trade. The Condemn sends the final chapter back. Now a tier 2 Yuumi would have detached to keep the CC now. But here comes the rest of the trade. Double exhaust going down. The Wild Growth is coming out as well. Yuumi has detached, but the Zoomies comes back to reset the fight. Ezreal suddenly so much healthier than the Vayne. The Wild Growth does wear off, but here comes the set. He wants to make a gank happen. This might be a dive. Orianna is here as well. She's waiting in the wings, not spotted out yet. But the Maokai's behind her. They see this. Vayne has lost her flash. Well, like, not lost her flash, like, Vayne has no flash. Lulu has lost hers. Maokai, he gets the Twisted Advance. It's a really long one. The knockback, the Bramble Smash, everything's there. The Zoomies is not there. Yuumi has to try to run down the teleport. Might complete in time. She has to try to attach. Is she gonna get it? Zoomies onto herself. The Cataclysm locks her up. She can't go. And now the rest of the fight is happening. Orianna, the ball is there. It finds the Vayne. She kills her off. But now the fight has gone south here for a red team. It's a 2v4. Everybody else is dead. They have to give up this position. They don't have... Blue team has no AD carry, but they sure as hell still has the damage. Orianna puts 4 more pages into the Soul Stealer. But that came at a great cost. Blue team takes an advantageous fight, 3-1. They are happily take that any day. And now suddenly, they take their first Drake. Several members on blue team and some on red are still sitting on brown. Actually, no, 6 people in this game still sitting on brown boots. It's the same roles, top, mid, and AD carry for both teams. No finished boots yet. Orianna gonna be the first to break that trend by picking up Sorcerer Shoes for herself. Allows the Syndra to match. Maokai gets his upgrade as well. The call for Ore in this game is probably Merc Treads. Herald 2, it is going to go the way of blue team. That is predictable, considering that they still have the top pressure. So with Herald 2, blue team has to try to look to break the game open with this. They need to try to siege the mid tower. They do get spotted out doing this. The set, can he make it over? He's not going to try, is he? Nah, he's not going to try. They're just going to let the Herald go away to blue team. Vayne coming in, they're going for the aggressive trade, she tumbles in, and now the final chapter comes out, the Polymorph is there, the Silver Bolt, damage! Oh no, it's not there! Ezreal finds that counter kill on a sliver of life. Zoomies heals, oh my god, Zoomies heals him for like 400. That's without Soul Stealer. Magi-less heal. I get Zoomies do like injure. What's the reverse of an execute? Like you heal more when they're lower. Zoomies does that. Does it still? Actually, Yumi's been changed so many times. I don't even know. Wait. Oh, that's odd. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Zoomies.
Blue team's turret has been
It doesn't do injure healing anymore. Oh my god, lock onto her. Yeah, it doesn't do injure healing anymore. So that's even worse. Like she doesn't do increased healing when you're low on health. Blue team setting up a siege here. Can they make this happen? They have the Herald. Now the proper play for this Herald, if you can't make a siege happen because, you know, Orianna's too strong, she's holding the door. You use this to get a Drake. You drop it somewhere that red team has to go defend, like 30 seconds before Drake spawns, and then you just take Drake. The counter push does come out from red. They kill off the tower. It's not enough. game does calm down by an appreciable degree. Oh, Maokai? He can't die, he's too tanky. He does lose about half his life. Ezreal Yuumi makes her way mid lane. The Empower recall from the Herald gonna bring the Jarvan home? No, he's not going home. He wants to make this catch happen. But the bot lane, this is a solo kill by the Orianna. Finally somebody dies. The score is now 11-9. The true shot completely whiffs. Field goal. No kill at mid, but Orianna finds such a valuable kill on the bottom lane. Vayne detours for Executioner's calling as well to shut down the zoomies. But she's quite a ways behind. She's basically solo Blade against Muramana Triforce Ezreal. That's a large goal differential. Doesn't really matter though, he gets dunked on. And now the Yuumi in the middle of 4 people, she can't find an ally to attach to. Double kill. Jarvan finds himself a 2-for-1 vacation package. And suddenly, there's Herald. The Ornn wanders up a little bit too far. He's 1v4ing. The rest of his team is so far away. He can't survive for that long. He flashes away. The ball, it does protect him in time. And now the set, he tries to look for a throw angle, but he can't get the showstopper. Is he still going to try for it? He is going to try for it. He gets that showstopper out, but he gets polymorph. The shockwave only finds the Syndra and nobody else. Vayne has arrived in the back, killing off the Ornn. And now the set is stranded. Orianna has to try to run, but she can't run. The pages go flying out of her book. And blue team just found 5 kills for nothing. And now that's gonna give them Drake number 2. Oh my, this might be the Dragon reverse sweep. 4 Mountain Drake Maokai is terrifying. It doesn't die. Good true shot attempt coming out there, but it's not enough. Jarvan's gonna get himself out. No casualties on blue team. And they just found such a beautiful team fight to get themselves back in the game. And now 23 minutes in, game 1 was over by now. But game 2 looks like it's turning the other way. This gold lead is essentially dead even. They have maybe like a Vision Wars difference of gold between them. And the next play here, probably Baron. Now you see red team sending so many of their teammates bot. A very weird choice. Like, granted, Ezreal's not down there. Ezreal's not up here, rather. He's down there. But there's nothing to take down there. There's no global objectives. They're very far away from that siege. And red team has rotated to mid lane. 23.5 minutes in. Oh no, the Scryder's Bloom and just barely misses the ward in the pit. They're setting up for Baron, but little do they know. The Scud is killed and there's still a living ward in the pit. The top tower not getting killed. This siege has been long and painful and not fruitful at all. Mid gets shoved out. I mean, Ezreal is crushing in CI. Like, this item differential is not to be underestimated. Very far from Rage Blade plus Blade of the Rune King against 2 completed items and the finished call. Like, wow, this Ezreal's ahead. But that last team fight for red team was disastrous. They can't afford to have that happen again. Sweeping out the side, killing off some wards. Can they make anything happen here? Dead Man's Plate complete on the set. This set is actually quite poor this game. Like, compared to the enemy jungler, or not enemy, well, I can say enemy, it's biased. It's biased casting. But compared to the enemy jungler, which is Jarvan, Cleaver, Adaptive Helm, finished jungle item, 6-1-7, CS lead. He's got everything going for him, and the set in comparison is just so poor. He's an entire completed item behind. And his boost doesn't do him any favors because Swifties isn't a combat boot. Like, it doesn't give him extra tankiness, it gives him extra speed, which is great. But if you're a whole item behind the enemy jungler, you don't do that. because it doesn't actually serve you. Like the extra 15 move speed and the slow reduction effect does not serve you when you're behind. The cat might get caught out here. The Bramble Smash sends her back, and now she has to try to run. Zumi speeds herself up. She's gonna find a new home in the Ornn. The ramp gets called and it knocks forward. It doesn't find anything, and that's Ornn ultimate gone. Ornn and Maokai both lose their ultimates. There's another X factor that red team has to watch out for, which is the Syndra. It doesn't matter how fed your Ezreal is. Syndra, there's a reason Syndra ultimate is not called Unleash Power, it's actually called the Outplay button. Because when you press it, you outplay the enemy. Oh, Vayne, she might find the catch onto the Orianna, but the Shockwave, it does bring her back the exhaust, forcing out the Orianna flash. She does goes forward. She wants this kill. Is she gonna find it? Oh, she does. That's so much damage. That puts 4 pages back into her book. So now she's above 10 again, which is critical. It gives her the extra movement speed. Flash forward, twist that advance. It finds the Orianna. Orianna returns damage on the Lulu. Lulu gets chunked to about half, and the rest of the team is arriving. Maokai, for now, is still alone in the front line, but there is no Shockwave. There is no Call of the Forge. Now, there is so much damage coming down. The final chapter, but the Ezreal soloing in the back. The Ignite gonna burn him down. The Jarvan finds the kill. The Yami is soloing. She finds it. And the Orianna in the back. She has to try to run. Preserve your pages, man. The Yumi is still alive. She's attached. The Shockwave came back. The damage goes down on the Maokai. He's dead. Not the Flag and Drag. It finds the Orianna knockup. But the damage, he does find it. He kills off the Orianna. He kills the cat as well. And suddenly there's no help for the Ornn. The Q from the Rupture. It does find the kill from the Sunfire of all things. Dragon up in 3. Vayne returning to the site of the battle. The call is for Ornn to do Mountain Drake, but is that even possible? Vayne is on his tail. The respawns are coming out now. Red team does respawn first, but they have a longer route to run to the pit. Ornn starting it, he doesn't care. Vayne's not contesting. The Ezreal came so close to killing everybody. If he dealt like 30 extra damage. Call of the Forge God does come out. The ramp gets sent forward. Vayne gets knocked up, but the Wild grows his third Haymaker. She dodges away. One more hit will do it. She does find the kill onto the set. The Ornn gets condemned into the wall, and that's gonna be the frontline dead. But no, wait, she's still alive, and the Shockwave in the back. There's so much damage from the Orianna, and now the Syndra has to try to run. The Yumi is still alive. They lose the jungler. That means they can't do the Drake. But do they surrender the position here at Drake? Blue team does have more members around the pit at this particular moment. Ezreal hasn't joined the fight yet. Maokai gonna try to make this happen. Can he make this happen though? The final chapter goes out. It snares out onto the Jarvan. The Jarvan pounces onto the Ezreal in the back. And now the front line is trying to delay. The Cataclysm is so strong. The Ezreal, you're not fed enough to handle that. And suddenly, when you leave your Ezreal dry like that, you can't win the fight. Once again, the Ezreal gets taken out. Despite how much farm he has, despite how many items he has, he's never been put in a position where he can do damage freely. He's always coming in the fight at the wrong angle, not coming in at all. No, that hasn't happened yet, but like getting picked off immediately. And most times it's the Jarvan killing him. This Jarvan is so strong, just taking Ezreal out of the fight over and over. And the rest of blue team has so much disruption that red team can't help the Ezreal. Red team puts himself at soul point. Mountain Soul will go a long way in protecting the Ezreal. Although right now, that's not even the problem anymore. The problem is red team can't seem to get a successful fight off. And the lead that they have are slowly being bled away. Like fight after fight, it hasn't really ended well. And there is a very minor blunder. That upgrade from Ornn went onto the wrong item. You really want to upgrade the hat over the Ludens, but it went on to the wrong item here. And what's more, it seems like Seth hasn't built an Orin item this game, and he's going to be caught out here. The Shockwave, it does come down. It catches the Jarvan, but is that enough damage? Call, the Forge God is coming down. The Ram, it gets called. 3-man knockup, but the damage, they seem to be running out of it. Orianna does kill off the Syndra on the side, but she's very low. She's out of the fight. Vayne has finally arrived to clean up, but can she clean up? The rest of her team has dropped to the ground, and suddenly it's going to be a 2-for-0. It might be a 3-for-0. It is a 3-for-0, and that's going to be red team taking a good team fight finally and heading off to Baron. The sweep comes out. They kill off every ward here. Blue team knows this is what they're up to. They know they have to try to stop this maybe, but they can't. They don't have people. And suddenly this game critical buff, this Baron buff, if either team gets it, they could win. And now red team has to take the victory in their hands. All they have to do is not screw it up. And critically, Seth and Yuumi still have not built an Orin item. Yuumi is working on it. That's Redemption. Redemption is upgradable. But the Orin, he is working on Warmogs. Not the Orin, the Seth. He is working on Warmogs. That is not a Seth item. I'm confusing Seth and Orin, aren't I? That is not an Orin item. That is a Seth item. Seth is... I'll rephrase it. Seth is working on a Warmogs armor, but Warmogs armor is not an Orin item. Orin cannot upgrade it. He cannot upgrade Deadman's Plate either. He should be able to. I mean, wouldn't it be hilarious if they just gave Orin an upgrade to every final item in the game? It would be a little bit overpowered, I think. A little bit too much. But wouldn't it be funny if like every item could just be upgraded? Because right now, when you have an Orin in your game, you have to realize that Sunfire's is way better than Deadman's. Even if you need that speed, it's just better. Jarvan's gonna come in for a Hail Mary engage. He does lock down the Seth, but the Seth slams him back, and now he's in the middle of all 5. He gets melted, but the Forge God has been called. The Ram gets sent back. Maokai gets killed off. A 1-for-1 trade. Red team thinks that's fair. Blue team's being pushed back to the base. Ezreal flashing forward aggressively. He kills off the Vayne. He kills off the Lulu. The final unleash power from the Syndra. Not enough. I said final for some reason, and I don't know. I said final for some reason. I was about to say like the outplay button, but clearly it wasn't enough to outplay the Ezreal. With some Yuumi on you, you can do aggressive plays like that and just work out, and suddenly this game is just over. The Jarvan has picked up one more assist since blue team lost that disastrous fight. Just goes to show you how one fight in the mid game can turn the game around when Baron is on the line. And suddenly blue team going from having the momentum to suddenly losing, allowing Team EZW to advance to the grand finals of Clash. You can see Vayne has had enough. She just pieces out of the game. Because this page doesn't load and spectate, we will go ahead to the next game. They are still scouting for Clash. So once again, we have an intermission, folks. What do we do with this intermission? Cast more ARAM? I'm down. Oh my god. This is why you ban... Like, what is that? Yuumi out damaged Syndra. Hold up. Hold up. Like, okay, granted. Syndra wasn't like the best performing champion by any means on blue team. In fact, I go as far as to call her probably the weak link in blue team, because the Orianna definitely once again took over. Once again, my MVP. I think the Orianna stopped the game from being lost outright just by finding so many critical kills on the Vayne. But it gets to a point where, I don't know. I'm so surprised they let Yumi through the pick and ban. I think like at one point when they scout EZW and they're like, oh, nobody here plays Yumi. We can leave Yumi. You don't leave Yumi up. Yumi is too good. Even if someone who's never... You can never play Yumi in your life, and in your first game with her, you can do decently well. She's very hard to punish. Like, it's very hard to punish a champion that you can't hit 90% of the time. I'm not going to advocate for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say this is a good strat. But it is entirely possible to just sit on one guy the entire game as Yumi and essentially do nothing but press E and Q a few times. So during this intermission, we're going to look at some more ARAM games, because, you know, ARAM is a nice chill intermission between what typically is a tedious break in between Clash games for spectator perspectives. I'm gonna assume that this game didn't last as long as the last one, so I'm not gonna go for a winner's interview. I don't think they have too much time. I want to leave them to like strategize for the next game. I don't want to get in the way of doing that. So no winner's interview for now. Oh, the blocking sounds from the Pantheon. That's hilarious. Like, it is a hilarious interaction when Braum or Pantheon blocks Mordekaiser passive, because it takes so many times. You just hear the noise go off over and over, and that's hilarious. Oh, the Pike, it does hook back on Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's gonna be locked up. He's gonna be killed off here? No, he's not. The mace damage is so high. First blood to the Ashe, and suddenly blue team finds themselves in a terrible spot. Vayne gets bounded up. She's gonna be the next victim. Mordekaiser in the middle of 3. He's finally gonna be killed off. The giant Anchorman smacking him across the face. But that's not enough. They take the 2-for-1. Red team walks away the winner. Look at that team in ARAM. Oh my goodness. You got your Varus, you got your Lulu, you got your Lux, you got the frontline, kind of. The frontline can sometimes leave during a team fight. Lux gonna be locked up by the CC. She might be killed off here. Flash forward by the Pike. The stun does bring her down. The Undertow finds her. Abyssal Undertow, that is. Mordekaiser, he does arrive to the fight, but Ashe trades her life for the Nautilus. The Varus trades her life for the Nautilus, and the Mordekaiser burning in the middle of 3. He's not gonna be enough. 6-3. Suddenly, blue team is the one that wins that one, and boy, what a way to win it. Varus wholly ineffective when he's just in the middle of it all. Lux has returned to the scene. She's trying to wave clear. She has the capability to. The Varus, he's walking so far forward. Vayne gets a solid chunk onto the Lulu, but now the Pantheon has to walk, but he's being pulled back. He flashes away, but tanks the tower shot instead. The snowball barely whips him. Pike, harpoon, not gonna find anybody. We're off to an explosive start here. The dredge line from a long distance. It finds the Varus. Varus gonna be killed off. Pantheon trades his life back, but the Pike, Abyssal Undertow, it finds the stun, but only onto one. And now the Mordekaiser, the Claw, it doesn't get to grab on the Vayne. Excellent juke back there. And now she has to try to run. She takes a lot of poke, going the other way. But going the way of the Claw was outright death. And suddenly, Ashe found herself with no HP. Pantheon does walk back. He gets binded, but he doesn't care. He carries it through and jumps on the Ashe's face. Mordekaiser is in the middle of 3, but he's very healthy. The piercing arrow dissuades the chase. Vayne gets snowballed, but who landed that? It was the Varus. He can't go in on that. Light binding onto the Pantheon. Not enough. Make a rain from the What is her build? Is she AP? It's AP Misfortune. Grab back onto the Varus, and here comes the depth charge. It finds the knockup onto 2, and the laser comes down onto the Nautilus as well. Nautilus gets killed off by the Lux. 8-6 now is the kill score. 4 minutes into the game. Now, I've had really drawn out ARAM games. I've had ARAM games as long as like 13 minutes before a tower died. Those are rare. It's also not my longest one. What's the longest ARAM game I've ever played? In recent memory, 40 minutes. It was hell. There was a period of the time where one for all ARAM was a thing, and both teams picked no, it was one for all mirror mode. So you pick like all 10 players vote on a champ, and that champ gets picked, and it's like a 5v5 mirror match. All 10 players are the same champ. We got Karthus once. This was back like when one for all mirror mode was available. It's like season 4 or 5 or something. We got Karthus. That game lasted 76 minutes or something. And keep in mind, one for all mirror mode is played exclusively on Howling Abyss. So that was an ARAM game that lasted like 70 plus minutes. And we won, so it's not a terrible memory. Like if you spend 70 plus minutes on an ARAM game, you only really talk about it if you won it, you know? If you lost that one, you don't talk about it. Just be like, oh, we never played that game. That was an interesting one. But aside from one for all mirror mode, I think the longest ARAM game I played lasted like 40 minutes. We lost that one, but it's rare to have ARAM games get so drawn out. 20 minutes in, Pantheon goes forward for a spear. Oh, the dunk, it's not enough. Wall Gross kept the Ashe alive, and suddenly Pyke finds himself with no reset. Depth Charge finds onto the Varus, but the Chain of Corruption comes back down. The first victim in this fight is the Vayne. Actually, Pantheon was the first, and the Piercing Arrow finds the Pykes. 3 for 0. 3 for 1. Ha, Mordekaiser died. I didn't even see that. Light Binding goes out onto the back. They tie down the minions and kill them off. Dredge line comes down, and here comes the Grand Starfall. Pantheon, he picks the one target to sit. It was the Varus. He soaks up the Piercing Arrow, doing absolutely no damage. He wants more, but the spear, it misses him, and suddenly Varus walks away cleanly free. And wow, Pantheon, he has such a beautiful combo, but he messed up the last step of the execution, and suddenly Nautilus gets chained down in the Death Realm, taking him to Pound Town for a 1v1, and now he pops back out. He's got no health. Mordekaiser flashes forward, burns him alive, and now the mace brought down onto the Misfortune as well. Pyke finds the Mordekaiser kill. He hasn't dunked anybody yet. The first Death Room below has utterly whiffed. Misfortune's 3-0-14. She hasn't died yet. Your AP Misfortune girl, reset, buy some items, and she's gonna be killed off by the Rangers. Not the Rangers Focus. That's not Ashe's Q, is it? What's Ashe's Q called? Oh, no, you killed her. I was gonna click on her. What's Ashe's Q called? Is it still Rangers Focus? Pantheon Spear, not gonna find it. Man, nice to make a game out of memorizing champion abilities. There was a period of the time, granted this was like 2013, 2012, I could name every champion ability in the game. I was the quick shot among my circle of friends. Nowadays I can't. Just because I devoted my attention to paying, like I pay my attention to other things like the lore. Now I'm a lore guy. I'm not so much of a champion abilities guy. And in fact, all of my memories, like all of my knowledge about champion abilities still comes from like the days back in Season 2, Season 3 when I just memorized all of them. Not actively, I just did it gradually because I played this damn game so much. Is there, okay, what's her Q called? Ah, let me hover over it. Still Rangers Focus, okay. I did remember it, see? But I can't tell you like Mordekaiser's ability names. I could tell you his old ones, but that's not so fun. Actually, what's Mordekaiser's ability called? Can you even name a single one? I don't think I can. His ultimate is like Death Realm or something. Like it's very tongue-in-cheek with what it's actually called. Oh, the arrow nails the Vayne. But Lulu is whimsy. Like, Lulu is very easy. Oh, hold on. The chain of corruption, it does land, and suddenly most of blue team has gotten routed. Misfortune has the items flashing away from the arrow, and the Luden's echo make it rain, dissuading the wave. Ooh. Suddenly, blue team just staves off a push because Misfortune wave clears. Oh, Ashe taking so much damage from the E. And here comes the bullet time. It doesn't do that much damage, but it can kill off the wave. Misfortune has to cancel it prematurely, but the minions have been killed off. And suddenly, the Pantheon Spear. It finds the Lux, kills her off. Alright, Mordekaiser. Can I name a single one of your abilities? I don't remember any of it. Obliterate. Wouldn't have guessed that one. I would have guessed like Unbreakable, so I guess that's kind of close. Death's Grasp. Wouldn't have guessed that one. Realm of Death. There we go. I was like, Death Realm? No, Realm of Death. You can still make a game out of this. Just like test how many ability names you remember. The most useless talent possible. Love you, Cookshot. But you know, it's fun. The Vayne's easy, you know. Tongue Bow, Silver Bolts, Condemn, Final Hour. Like, well, he's such a staple, iconic champion. Like, these get remembered, you know. Lux is a little bit more obscure. I remember Lux because she was my one-trick main back when I first started this game. So just like Light Binding, Prismatic Barrier, Loosen Singularity, and then I think it's called Final Spark now, and this thing is still called Final Spark because it's a reference to. I still believe that's a thinly veiled reference to Toho because Marissa, Master Spark, but it's still called Final Spark or Finale Spankun. Yeah, it's called Final Spark. Now, Marissa Kirisame spell card is called Master Spark, but I think she has a spell card called Final Spark. It's been a while since I played an older Toho game where you would fight different spark variations from Marissa. And this is like non-league speak. This is like Toho speak. But I remember magic cards like Double Spark. Loving Heart, Master Spark. Loving Heart, Double Spark, was it? I think that's what that spell was called. Yeah, memorizing Toho spell card names. That's a different way to spend your time. Ooh, the double jump, chaining down the Ashe. She gets shut down here. She's actually quite fed. 13, 6, and 11. A Lux. Oh, Lux, not gonna find it. Pike. Pike kills her off, and now Varus might be the next victim. He gets killed off. Like, when I think of Final Spark in Toho, the most likely place you find it, probably Toho 8. As Marissa's last word. That one, I know it's called like Magic Cannon something Spark. I don't think it's called Final Spark. Magic Cannon something Spark. And also, this is like not officially translated name, so I could make my own translation patch of like, it's called Final Spark. There, it's a Toho reference. Deal with it. There are other Toho references in League, like Wriggle's Lantern, which is an item that no longer exists, but when it did, it was a reference to Wriggle Nightbug. Youmuu's Ghostblade still exists. Youmuu's one of my, not my favorite, but easily top 10 favorite Toho characters. She's really cool. In fact, her Youmuu's Ghostblade has an actual name in Toho lore, the Rukanken. I pronounced that wrong, but you could just call it the Rukanken and confuse everybody. Youmuu's Wraithblade, which is Ornn's upgrade for it, isn't a direct Toho reference because Youmuu's a ghost, not a Wraith. I think Wraith and Toho are their own class. I don't think a Wraith in Toho exists, actually. It's all ghosts. There's like a Jiangshi in later Toho games, but I don't think there's ever been a Wraith. But then again, like etymology, I guess fictional creatures or fictional classes of creatures specters in general. Like specters, ghosts, and wraiths are technically all different class of beings, depending on which fictional writer you talk to, I suppose. Other Toho references. Well, Lux is basically a complete ripoff of Marissa. Don't at me. Not just Final Spark, like Spell Thief Lux. Spell Thief Lux, the skin line name is basically Marissa, and Sorceress Lux is straight up Marissa but blue. She's basically Marissa, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Oh my god, the block sounds. But now suddenly blue team's on the verge of winning this game as I talk about Toho. I just wish they dropped the subtlety and just rename it to Master Spark. Like, come on. It'd be so cool. Master Spark is... Even for non-Toho players, it would be a pretty iconic thing to just know about. Like an anime magical girl that has a spell card called Final Spark. The Master Spark, I mean. But okay, we quit out of this game because it is time for the grand finals of Clash. They won, by the way. Like, I can see in real-time results, they definitely won that game. So, you know, little subtlety remaining in that one. But we go now to the final game of Clash. 2 minutes out. What is the matchup here? Is that... Oh, it seems like their AD carry and mid player have swapped. Kaisa, Leona bottom, Syndra mid, and they're going up against what appears to be Urgot top, Mumu jungle, Anivia mid, and Ezreal bar bottom. And the matchup on the other side, Maokai top, Set jungle, Syndra mid with Kaisa, Leona. Very interesting. Kaisa versus Ezreal takes me back like a few months ago. And those AD carries will fight each other in lane all the damn time. Kaisa is a lot less relevant nowadays. She's also not a Zeo carrier traditionally. At least not in her standard tier, or like, not just tier, like standard Rage Blade build period. She's not a Zeo carrier. And Zeo has been buffed. It might not be a strong enough buff to warrant like Zeo AD carries being strong now. It was buffed also with making AD carries a little bit more survivable by giving them approximately 30-40 health base and like 4 to 5 more per level across the board. With the exception of some champions that are also played in the top lane. But it's a minor buff to their durability at best. I don't think it makes them any less killable than they are in the early game. At least not dramatically. So the Zeo buffs are interesting. It just gives them more movement speed. I mean, like a 2% movement speed buff across Zeo items. It's pretty strong. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's interesting. So 30 seconds out. We're going to get into the grand finals of Clash. One of these two teams will walk away at first place, and the other will come out with a silver medal. But as David Glenn Esley said in that one song that you hear in SpongeBob, but you don't hear it because SpongeBob never sings the song fully. Sweet Victory. There's a verse in the second stanza. It actually begins with that verse in the second stanza. It's approximately where the SpongeBob episode ends, like when they sing Sweet Victory, and then the episode ends. But then the next line in that song is, "You don't win no silver, you only lose the gold." Well, how did that verse go? You don't win no silver, you only lose the gold. So you push as a fever. As something I forgot to. I had it in my head, and then I tried to say it out loud, and then I lost it. You push with a fever. Okay, I'm not gonna sing, but I'm super off key. I'm not a good singer at all.
Welcome to the
Piltover Clash, and that's the last time we'll hear the announcer lady today saying that line. Let's get into it. 15 seconds in. Ooh, the rainbow trail. See, I play too much Terraria. I look at that as like, oh, that's a Terraria effect.
30 seconds.
It just looks so Terraria. I don't know. I play too much. But then we kill Moonlord. Yay! Our journey is over. I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say Terraria is like the best game of all time, because to be honest, it really is not. And it's not my top. It's not the best game of all time, obviously. It's not the title you can award to any game, because guess what? People have opinions. There's no objective best. You could look at sale charts and be like, Breath of the Wild, no. But
Minions have spawned.
no, Breath of the Wild is not even like top of the sale charts. Top of the sale charts is like Pokemon the franchise. Still is. In fact, like third, no, not third, like fifth highest grossing franchise of all time, sports games. And you know, people, myself included, despise it for how predatory that whole gaming system is. But Terraria, not the best game, but it's so good. It's one of the better design games I've ever played. It's one of those games that just feels good to play because it's done so well. It's definitely a gem that everybody should experience. Like it's along the lines of Stardew Valley, I guess. Not in the same genre, obviously, but in the same category of games where you should experience it at least once. Even if you're not into the genre and you stop playing it after like 3 hours, which, you know, totally respectable if it's not your cup of tea. But it's something worth experiencing for everybody. It's one of those games. And as I chat about random stuff, Urgot has beat the Maokai to level 2 and he's now shooting the crap out of him. The tree has to try to run, but he's fully lost that trade. Leona goes in for an aggressive trade. The plasma was not detonated. And now, bot lane has to try to retreat here for blue team, and Maokai is being reduced to farming under his tower. He does twist advance in for this gank. Urgot comes into the same, flips him back, but the set has made his way in. Facebreaker gets the stun back. Does he have any escape still? He does not. Haymaker, he does find that first blood. And I will reorganize the scoreboard now for your viewing pleasure. I don't normally do this. Like when I play normals, I just leave it the way it is. I don't reorganize scoreboards. I did it once when I was streaming, and then people think I do it all the time. I really don't. It's not a habit for me. Oh, a Mumu. He's gonna find the set in the jungle, but can he win this? Facebreaker comes down. Set does have more damage, but the Mumu is decently tanky right now. He's going for this trade. It's aggressive. The cavalry is coming. A Mumu flashes away. Does he have another bandage toss? One more stun will kill. Now here comes the Urgot. The stole does land, but he doesn't have his own flash to pursue. But the Syndra, she's gonna get nailed up. The stun and the damage, everything's there. One more hit will do it. Can they find it? And Nivea is fast. The frostbite, the auto, it's not enough. Syndra walks away with a sliver of health. Dark Spear, the Q across the wall. Oh, it does nail her, but once again, she's saved by her own health pot. The region barely keeps her up. That's what we call unlucky for red team. They should have had that double kill. Granted, they just burned every summoner of blue team members in that fight. Well, blue team members that were involved. Suddenly Syndra has to TP back to lane, no longer has a flash. And the set lost his flash as well. He does have Hex Flash, but that's just a poor man's flash. A Mumu swinging around the try. Blue team so far extended, they don't know what's up. And here comes the Mommy. Kaisa is the first to know. Supercharge. She's gonna get the hell out of there. But now the Amumu, he doesn't throw the bandage in time and is taken out by the Leona. Leona flashes away to keep herself safe. And suddenly, what appeared to be a really promising gank didn't really go that way. I think if Amumu just stunned the Kaisa, it would have been better. But he didn't. So, blue team only loses a summoner, which is easily their best case scenario in that situation. They extend this so far up, and the jungler literally comes up from behind your lane. And you only lose a flash. In fact, it's not really lost with a flash, it's traded with the Bard's Ignite. That's easily your best case scenario, not dropping bodies. Oh, my dog's barking in the back. Ignore that. Now the Urgot still holding essentially 1 level lead. 2 waves ahead. He has a redrew beat, and now he's gonna go back to shop for more. Maokai has to try to clean this up under the tower, but Maokai is not really the best at farming under the tower. His CS count going up so slowly. He got 2 minions in total. Are you kidding me? Oh man, that's brutal. Ezreal gonna try to land some damage. Can he do it? No, he can't do it from here. There's surely no way. Man, the dog is being riled up back there. I'm looking at the OBS, like the mic recording. It's definitely being picked up. The audio waves are going up. Hopefully I can talk loud enough to mask it. Oh, the Anivia! The recall gets interrupted by the Dark Sphere push. On Kai'Sa, this Kai'Sa player we know, farming monster already on the Orianna. Can she do the same as Kai'Sa here? So far, not the best CS from what we come to expect from this player. But still, holding very nicely. Getting that pickaxe first, Ezreal has the tier. Kai'Sa does stack a tier significantly slower than the Ezreal. And not having it yet is pretty troublesome. Anivia gets her own tier as well. Anivia is one of those champs that buys Roa and tier. And generally, I think the order is you catalyst first. Unless you're really sure that you can't be punished. And against the lane with a Syndra and you're down almost 30 CS, I don't think you go tier first. I think you get that catalyst so you stay in lane a bit longer, then farm a tier, then finish Roa. If you're going for that late game scaling, it kind of matters what order you get those components in early game. You don't have to stack a tier as soon as possible. But it does matter that you stay in lane long enough to always be relevant, even tangentially in the early game. Because with the tier and the brown shoes, this Anivia is incredibly squishy. And not that she ever had not that she ever should have kill power on the Syndra, but now Syndra can threaten her by killing her on command, essentially. She has the unleash power. She doesn't have ignite, so that's a large part. That's a large part of Syndra's solo killing power diminished because she has a teleport. But now the Anivia, she's actually gonna move down to the Dragon Pit. Oh, Set! Ah, he doesn't steal it. He saw it in plain view, and now the Amumu ties him down. Set is working as a full grip bar, but he doesn't land the Haymaker sweet spot, and the Bard has come in to reinforce. The damage is not there. The Kai'Sa missile whiffs past him, and now the Amumu is still safe. Syndra gets tied down, but the Dark Sphere finishes off the Mummy, and now the support is fighting her up. The egg is gonna get scrambled soon unless the revive can come down. Temper Fate that locks down the Kai'Sa. There's suddenly no damage. Anivia is up. She's level 7. One more hit from the Kai'Sa will do it. But now the Ezreal has arrived to the scene. Does the Kai'Sa have flash? No, she does not. But she has a heal. She has to try to turn it around. She can't do it around. She'll save the summoner spell. But that's gonna be Dragon for red team, and they take a 3 for 2. No, 4 for 2. 4 for 1. No, 4 for 2. 4 for 2. What am I talking about? 4 for 2. So hugely favorable here for the red team, getting them off to a beautiful start. It's hard to count the bodies when everybody's respawned. I have to replay the fight in my head. Urgot going to purge away the minion wave. This Maokai is just not having a good time up here. It's very hard to fight against. Oh, the Sunfire's actually worked against him on that CS there. He loses that one. It's kind of an art to farming with Sunfires, well, like even Bombies, under your tower. Because, melee minions die in 3 hits, but the second hit leaves them critical. Range minions die in 2, but you need over 180 to finish off a tower shot on a range creep. So calculating how to effectively farm under tower with your current stats is actually something that people don't practice enough, I feel. It's a pretty invaluable skill, just so you don't lose income when you're being shoved in. Not saying the Maokai is bad at it. I think the Maokai has done a pretty admirable job playing with what he has been given so far. Oh, that's a very long distance twisted advance, and the roots ties up the Amumu. The Herald, he's pissed off. He's reset back to his pit. The sphere doesn't find the Anivia, but now blue team, they might be on their way back into the pit now. It is pink. They're waddling around. Oh, the replay froze. Okay. They're waddling around. Oh, they find it. The twisted advance onto the Urgot. Now he's in the 1v streak. He flashes away, purging as he goes. The Haymaker from the set, flashing forward. It's a hex flash, but still, he doesn't find the sweet spot. The spear is coming down. The outplay button, will it be pressed? It will be pressed, but the set will finally get the kill. Urgot doesn't straight up die from unleashed power. Syndra does flash forward to make that kill happen. But critically, blue team may have walked away with the top laner kill. Their herald attempt was stopped, and now their mid might be in trouble. Kai'Sa is gonna get caught out here. So much CC landing on her, no chance for survival. The Kai'Sa is gonna die for the second time this game. Can they compensate with top lane? No, they cannot. Teleport's coming down. Amumu gets nailed by the Dark Sphere in the grass, but now he's fine. Urgot has returned to lane. How many plates to get? I think this down to 3 plates. Yeah, it's down to 3 plates. Overall, I don't think that exchange is worth it for blue team. Because you still don't have mid prio, and you still don't have bot prio, and you don't have the herald. You got 2 plates off an extended trade. And for the most part, everything else was even. But now Ezreal gets solo plays on the bottom, and that's already their entire lead generated gong. Syndra's gonna teleport behind, but she's gonna teleport with the Anivia. Ezreal, he has to try to run. Oh man, you're in so much trouble. He's gonna blink forward. Oh, is this ankle's broken? The Bard comes in to save him. A beautiful escape there by the Ezreal. He doesn't even die. He does flash out. But when you get pincer like that, when the Syndra teleports to kill you and you escape taking like 100 damage, that's amazing. Like, that's really worth it. And the Bard, beautiful portal to get him out. The Amumu was working on the Herald, but now he finds a kill up top. The Maokai has no mana and no magic to sap. He's gonna be grinded up in the meat grinder. Gonna be turned into paper, processed into pulp. And now Amumu moves back onto the Herald. The set is still covering mid lane. He needs to try to make his way up to the pit if he wants to contest. Does he want to contest though? The Anivia is out of mana. She can't wave clear anymore. Even with Tear. Long range on display, not gonna find it. But the Prey Seeker does. No, it's not called Prey Seeker. That's Kha'Zix, right? I don't know what this is called. Prey Seeker. Void Seeker. Man, there's a lot of Seekers in the Void Champions, huh? Speaking of, Ikathia region in lore is always a place that's kind of hard to wrap my head around. It's a pretty interesting place that I never really read up on. I just know it's in Shurima somewhere, or at least the gateway to it. Here comes the Rift Herald. There's so many creatures from the Void. Like, I'm pretty sure Baron is from the Void. It's definitely a region that's... It's been pretty fleshed out over the years. I just haven't caught up to the lore on it yet. And now, blue team's gonna start the Drake. And now, bot lane, it's a 1v1 matchup. Kai'Sa just has to delay the Ezreal. And now Syndra tying down the Anivia, the stun, the outplay button, the electrocute, but there's no more damage coming down. The solar flare, it lands the stun. Does she have an egg? No, but the blast cone sends her over and suddenly she's in friendly hands. The Prey Seeker, no, Void Seeker from long range, it finds the kill, but the Curse of the Sand Mummy that locks down the front line. The Haymaker, true damage, is it there? Showstopper, dragging her away. She's fine, but now Kai'Sa is in danger. The ball saves her from the Syndra. The bandage toss not there, but the set is in so much trouble. He's gonna be killed off here by the Ezreal. 3-0 and 1. Ezreal's getting fed. That's trouble for blue team, but beautiful news for red. This game is still very even. 1 Drake apiece. Blue team has a Herald, but no team has killed a tower now that the plays are no longer existent. Urgot slightly ahead, Syndra's ahead. And Kai'Sa is slightly behind the Ezreal. So overall, pretty even lanes all around. The game state looks pretty equal, all things considered. Ezreal, he's gonna be found by the Zenith's Blade. Oh, there's so much damage. The explosion from the Eclipse kills him off. Solar Flare, the Leona wants more. Bard has no mana. He can't portal. He can't run. One more hit will do it. The Zenith's Blade from long range, it does land, but the Kai'Sa, she hasn't committed with the Leona, and that might be trouble. Leona overdives and dies. There's a miscommunication there. Kai'Sa didn't go the full distance. and suddenly the Anivia teleport results in her getting a kill. 2 stacks on her Rod of Ages. She's slowly working on Archangels now. Bard is still staying. He has very low health. He has to try to stay behind the target. Wait, Seeker's snipe is coming. Kai'Sa's looking for it. She's going! She got it! The shutdown onto the Bard. The set does Hex Flash into the back, but isn't enough for him. He's taking tower shots. He's tanking tower shots. The Facebreaker not gonna hit. He's taking a lot of damage. The Haymaker, the true damage is there. And that's gonna give her a plasma mark. Kai'Sa dashes in with Killer Instinct. The Syndra joins as well just to tank a tower shot. And now top lane. 2 people coming down. The roots are tangling up the minion wave just to wave clear. But that's actually effective. It stops the dive from happening. The cannon, it gets missed out. But that's the least of his worries. Sunfires is complete on Maokai, but this is the only item he has. How is a tree allowed to build this thing that sets you on fire? That seems counterintuitive. Not just set you on fire with the sun. Bard, he's going for that pink, but will cost him his life. Beautiful prediction on the Dark Spear. It does nail him. Temper Fate, it gets flashed away. The portal, it does kill him off halfway through the journey. He doesn't find the final stop. He stops believing and dies to the outplay button. Kai'Sa is still mid lane. They're shoving it out. Blue team has killed the only tower this game at bottom lane. They need to try to extend this and do more. They have a minor gold lead. Can they carry us through? They're wandering around the Drake pit. There's nothing to be found there. Ezreal's still farming up a storm bot lane. He's behind Kai'Sa in CS. And now behind her in kills and assists. And Kai'Sa has her own Monomune. Let's check the stacking status here. It's going to be 485 against almost done. So, well, 80% done. Kai'Sa does stack Monomune slower than Ezreal. Like, that's to be expected. But it's fine, because both are excellent Monomune carriers. Kai'Sa gets it on every missile, I believe. No, I actually never tested that out, so I don't know for sure. I think she should get it on... No, she doesn't. What am I saying? Of course she doesn't get it on every missile. That's OP. But Kai'Sa autos do a lot with it. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, I don't know. Does she get Muramana procs on even one of her missiles? How does Muramana work with her missiles? I never really looked into the science behind it. There's a bird chirping outside. This bird has been chirping outside my window since the crash coverage began. It's been like 2.5 hours, and this bird is still going at it. I wonder what he's chirping about. Or tweeting about. Haha. Syndra gonna be caught out here. Ooh, the damage from Glacial Storm. And Nivea finds the shutdown. Syndra gets killed off here, and now red team gonna chase blue team away from the pit. They want to secure this Drake. Blue team might just have to give this up. They can't fight this without Syndra. Excellent catch there. Bar is actually making a lot of plays. He's set up a lot of these positive catches. Maokai does equalize with the tower in the top lane. Now Anivia taking the portal. They want to make a fight happen. The set, he's in the Glacial Storm, he's tanking damage, he's slowed down. The teleport comes in from the back, but the set has already died. The Maokai arrives from the back, but is there any damage to follow up? The Kai'Sa's being driven back. He's in the middle of the entire red team. He's taking so much pain, he can't survive. Syndra comes back as well, but she gets walled. He can't make it back to her tower. Double kill there for the Ezreal. They find 3 kills out of nowhere, and critically, that's both teleports from blue team. Both teleporters from blue team just went into their doom. And now red team not only secures Drake, not only secures a tower, but takes out both teleports and 3 kills on top of it. Such a net positive play. That's going to get them into such a beautiful position here come the mid game, with Ezreal having finished Muramana, working on his Triforce. He's still pretty far away from it. Considering it's 20 minutes in, he should be like 1,000 gold further than he is. But those kills definitely helps him out. He does get caught out here by the set, but he has the damage. It's going to be landed back onto the set. Oh my lord. That poke is insane. Almost pokes him to death. And suddenly, blue team very much finding themselves on the back foot. They have to try to play the combat game now. They had a really staggered engage. The teleports were not synced up, so it started becoming like a kill train. One on one, one person after the other. The Mumu is going to secure blue buff here. Syndra's boss side, but now they have to be careful. Neither solo laners have teleports, so now they have to play with their team. The Bard has proven that his catches this game have been immaculate. The Temper Fates has set up so many kills. Suddenly, blue team's in a lot of danger. If this game gets to a scaling war, I don't think they have the means to kill Urgot and the Mumu before Ezreal and Nivea just wins the fight. Syndra does have a stupid amount of damage, true. But the longer the game drags on, the less power she will have to delete an Ezreal. Same thing with Anivia. Anivia is not a champion you can delete. She's a natural Rova Archangel's carrier. That's naturally just makes her tanky and makes her survivable against burst. And she has wave clear for days. Temper Fate, it has to be flashed out. Once again, another summoner used to dodge Bard ultimate. And now the siege coming down mid lane. It's a very awkward fight here for blue team. Their engage is half health. The Anivia is half health, but doesn't really matter in this context. The engage is getting poked out. Syndra can't stay. She has no summoners. That means Amumu gets the blue buff to himself. And suddenly blue team's falling more and more behind, albeit slowly. But being on the back foot hurts them quite a bit. Time is ticking for them. They need to try to find a way out of the hole they dug themselves into. I like to think the bird is a cheerleader. I'm not even sure the bird's audio is being picked up by the mic. If it is, I hope the bird's cheerleading for one of the two teams. That at least gives it, I don't know, more... I was gonna say authenticity, but probably not. Probably not. Now suddenly... we're gonna have a brush. Oh, that's Zenith's Blade. So close to making a catch happen. Bard is very lucky to not die to that. But Mountain Drake is up. Blue team has the position. Can they make anything happen though? Anything? Oh, the 3-man Temper Fate. That lockdown, it might begin a teamfight. Curse of the Sad Mummy. Oh, the CC, the combo, everything's there. Syndra gets dropped to death, but now she still has the outplay button. She uses it to very little effect, and suddenly this teamfight is a total wash. The bird is cheerleading. The Bard gets taken out by the Kaisa, but the curse. No, the Sad Mummy, it finds her. The Ezreal gets it as well. A suddenly 5-for-2 teamfight. Beautiful ace from blue team, for red team. Killing everybody on blue team, and now they put themselves on soul point. It's gonna be 25 minutes into the game, and now red team undeniably in the driving position for this game. They just have such a beefy core that the burst that blue team drafts is not enough. Like, even if Syndra lands the combo, even if Syndra uses Unstoppable Force, even Unstoppable Force, Unleash Power, even if Kai'Sa then follows up with Killer Instinct, you can't kill an Urgot with that, and that's just one of your 5 problems. Last fight they barely salvaged it by killing off the Bard at the tail end, albeit at the Kai'Sa's life. But you can see these teamfights are suddenly very hard for blue team to win, because red team just has so much lockdown. And once again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but shoutouts to Bard. That 3-man Temper Fate to start the fight is immaculate. I can just prematurely vote Bard as the MVP in the grand finals here. He's just been so consistent with those ulti catches, blowing summoners left and right, making critical kills happen left and right. He's the reason Ezreal's as fed as he is. And now this Ezreal in a very prime position to carry. Last we looked at him, he was not close to finishing Triforce, and now he's sitting on Triforce and almost a Borg. He's about halfway done. More than, actually. Kai'Sa going to try to engage on the Ezreal. Can she find it? She has a Killer Instinct. She will use it. Ezreal blinks away. Not enough. Kai'Sa puts her team back on the board with a solo kill onto the Ezreal. But now she has to be careful. The Bar Meep finds a slow, but no additional damage or CC. That's going to be okay for the Kai'Sa. She gets that solo kill. And that's critical. You need to try to take red team players out of the game. Because if you don't, you just lose. Your defeat will be inevitable and slow and painful. So what a critical finding that kill at a critical juncture. The set gonna come in. It's no face breaker, no stun on the Amumu. He's gonna try to farm it out. It seems like the call right now is just for blue team to farm up. But I'm not sure if that serves them or red team. Because no matter how much you farm, eventually you still have to contend with the Urgot. You still have to contend with the Anivia. And you still have to contend with winning team fights. And very soon, 2 minutes from now, red team will force the issue. They are going for the soul. Anivia is going to be caught out here. And here comes the Kai'Sa and the rest of the damage. The catch is there. The egg is about to be scrambled. And once again, another catch. A huge injection of income, one after another, going into the Kai'Sa's pockets. And both cores on red team just got called out. That's gonna be the call to start Baron. There's no Urgot. He's teleporting in now. Syndra's here to match. But here comes a 4-man Crystal the Sand Mummy. The backline might be in trouble. The Kai'Sa gets tied down by the Urgot. She's taking the damage, but the shield from Killer Instinct keeps her out of the execute range. They find the miraculous team fight, and they lock down 3 members. Oh my goodness. They find the 3 kills they need to get this Baron, but can they secure it? Is this going to be a horrible throw for them? No, it's not. They get the Baron Nashor, and suddenly a ticket for them back into the game. Both teams paying out the Drake. That's the site of their next battle. They don't have... Oh, that ping from Windows is for me. Don't worry if you hear it. But, yeah. Oh. I'm still hearing the pings. Let me actually just turn off the notifications. Let me just turn off the notification. Okay, there we go. There shouldn't be any more pings. Oh, we return to the action. Bard, he might be caught out here. No! The outplay button doesn't find a kill! Oh, Kai'Sa cleans it up. Suddenly, red team is now the ones in disarray after having such a solid hold over the game. And now blue team takes their first Mountain Drake. They not only stave off the soul, but all 5 members still wearing purple. They have no Bard. They don't have that critical Temper Fate to start team fights, to start catches. to think this whole game turned around when the Kai'Sa made that kill on the Ezreal and then Nivea happened. And now it's red team's turn to try to stop Baron. So everything I talked about was red team winning fights and being hard to kill. Now there's an X factor introduced. Now there's Baron. And Nivea cannot wave clear against Baron. And Ezreal might get caught out on the side. Curse of the Sand Mummy. It does lock up onto the set, but the set returns the favor with Haymaker. It's not enough to kill, but it sure as hell leaves a parting gift onto the Anivia's face. The siege is coming down. The Baron buff minions slowly getting burned away here. Kai'Sa might get caught out here. There might be trouble. The hook, it lands on the Kai'Sa. Now the bot lane, it might be caught out here. It does get caught out. 2 kills back to back here. They lose the mid turret, but they will take that trade any day, finding a 3-for-1 right back. And now blue team, they just made a horrendous play with their Baron, essentially throwing that purple buff away, only getting 1 tower off it, and it's not even a worthwhile tower. They lost gold off it because they just dropped so many cores. 30 seconds in the sidelines for Kai'Sa. That's gonna blunt their aggression significantly. The gold lead essentially back to even, only 1,000 deficit. They made an admirable play to get themselves back from a rather significant deficit, but now they need to finish it. Bard, he does spot out the Leona. Leona has to try, maybe clear some wards. No, she's standing on a ward. Syndra going to pop the sweeper, running cleanup in the jungle. Red team's going for a reset, but will blue team allow them? But they have to be careful. They don't have damage there yet. Kai'Sa just respawned, but here comes a Maokai. The tanks are coming in. They all take the journey. They're locking down the Bard, but the Bard just flashes back over, and suddenly now the blue team is committed into a fight, but they're committing without carries. Where is the Syndra? Where is the Kai'Sa? They've just now arrived. The set has died, but they only kill the Bard in return. The outplay button, she's forcing onto the Ezreal, but she does find it. Curse of the Sand Mummy locks onto the Kai'Sa. She Zayas to buy herself some time, and now she's free hitting, and Nivea is the next victim. The Urgot popping the Purge in the back line. The damage is landing onto the Kai'Sa. It's just gonna be a 2-on-1, and now the damage is not there. Urgot doesn't survive long enough to finish it off. The fight ends in a 5-for-3 in favor of blue team. The 2 carries that ran their legs off to get to the fight finally get there and manage to clean up, if not by the tiniest of margins. Making the difference happen, finding that critical ace. This might be inhibitor. Unless the Bard can temper fate, lock down the tower to buy some time. No, he's not going to do that. I think they might just give up the inhib. Can they make a clean disengage off this? The critical objective's not yet spawning. So now the interesting question comes up. Do you prioritize denying red team's soul, or do you get Baron and go for the jugular? Last time they got Baron, it didn't really end that well for them. They just lost 3 people in bot lane. They might opt to deny the soul here. Although I think at this stage in the game, Baron is slightly more valuable. I could be extremely wrong on that. Giving red team soul might be the last thing blue team wants to do. But at the same time, if either team gets Baron, that could be a game-ending threat. The Kai'Sa is extremely fast. She has a QSS and the Zion is protecting her. Zion is almost up again. She can output so much. With all 3 basic abilities evolved. They just have to close it out. Like in contrast, the Ezreal is only 3.5 items. 4.5 you count boots. The Bird Cheerleader is back. As we approach what should be the climactic final fight. The one that decides the championship. One team will walk away from this in first place. And is it gonna end with a death brush? Temper Fate, it completely whiffs, and the fight might be started here. The set will flash in for the Haymaker. He has a Showstopper. He's gonna bring the Urgot away. Kai'Sa's in the back. Is she contested yet? No, she's not. The Bandage Toss does not land. The Curse of the Sand Mummy does. She gets killed off here by the Ezreal. He finds the critical damage. Syndra's being pushed out of the fight, and now there's no damage left in the fight. Ezreal's gonna finish off the Leona, and the Urgot guns down the Syndra on the side. It's just gonna be the Maokai remaining. Red team did it. They find the critical kill onto the Kai'Sa, the one target they needed to erase, and they do so, taking her off the game and giving themselves the soul. And then the Maokai might be the next to go. The rest of red team is chasing. They're just gonna leave 2 to finish him off. The other 2 will turn for Baron Nashor. The rest of the respawn timer is still coming out. This takes so long. The Maokai finally dies. The Urgot and the Amumu running into Baron buff. But did the Maokai buy enough time? Did they stall the rest of the damage? Is Urgot fast at killing Baron? He's decently fast, but is he fast enough to stop this? The set is booking it into the pit. Full speed ahead. This might be a huge mistake for the set. If he doesn't steal this, he's not going to get the steal. If he dies doing this, it's over for red team. It's over for blue team. Well, it's over for red team too, but they'll win. And suddenly, the climatic team fight is won by red team, and what a hell of a reward they just reap for themselves, with Soul and Baron on their tool belt essentially, or in their inventories. They now begin the march down blue team space. Can they stave off the purple army buffed up by the giant snake? We've seen blue team make what in Clash terms would be considered a miraculous comeback. But now they just face themselves with a much bigger mountain to climb. If they make this happen, and for the record, I don't think they are. I might get lynched for not believing in the boys, but I don't think they can make this comeback. But if they do, this will be one of the more hype moments I've casted in recent times. Blue team loses their last turret on top lane, outer base. They just have 1 turret left outside of their base, is on bottom lane. The Baron minions are coming in, the True Shot Barrage is chunking out. Turret slowly but surely falling here. And suddenly this Urgot, if we go back to the original problem, this Urgot just can't be killed. The 2 Empower Cannons pounding away at the turret. Glacial Storm is just erasing every minion jumping out of blue team space. The Empower Cannon eventually finishes the job. This giant mechanical crab in their face is a threat that they cannot possibly deal with. They get the inhib, and now red team goes for a reset to deal with the threat in mid, with essentially no contest. Can they make the catch onto fleeing members? They're sure as hell gonna try. Set will lead the charge. The Magical Journey brings Set in. The Phase Breaker, it finds the bar, but the Solar Flare totally whiffs. And now the rest of the route is coming down. The CC is landing. Bard will be the martyr. He gets locked down. But that's just 1 kill for what was a massive advantage going over to red team. Now they're the ones with an inhibitor lead. There's the ones with the ability to push. Syndra waiting for the blue buff. This delay might cost them. Maokai started the fight. He found the Anivia out of position. But no, the roost, it didn't land. Kai'Sa, she's shooting into the Urgot. The damage is not landing on the Anivia. She Zions to buy herself some time. The True Shot Barrage, but the Eraser is coming out from the Urgot. The CC is landing on the Kai'Sa. She has a Zions in place, but the Urgot has killed everybody already. And there's 1 more death here for blue team. It's just a Syndra remaining. She teleports in to find the last team fight, and there's nothing left for them. She can't hold back the tide. This Urgot just became so incredibly strong. A full build Urgot is just not killable. Not by a Kai'Sa, not by a Syndra. They need to bring a bigger gun. And they sure as hell don't have it there in this game. And that's gonna be the end. Team EZW places 2nd in the day 2 of Piltover Cup. 1 higher than their previous placement, but very far from that elusive first place finish. still an admirable job regardless by everybody involved. That was a fantastic grand final game to cast. I'm glad it wasn't terribly one-sided. I'm glad one team at least walked away. I guess it was a decently hard-fought victory. When the Urgot really got rolling, I think it was really hard to win for blue team from there. But given what they had, they actually made a really good comeback happen until it wasn't a comeback. That was an exciting game. And genuinely, I'm glad I casted that. So it's good to be back. And what a hell of an event to come back to. That's going to conclude the coverage here for Day 2 of Piltover Clash. We'll see you in Days 3 and 4 a few weeks from now.